welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. We are so happy to have you on a Friday, man. We are getting closer and closer to the 2024 NFL Draft. We will be doing our final C3 mock draft tonight, so it ought to be a doozy. We're going to have a great time as always. And as we draw closer to the draft, man, we have so much to talk about. We're going to be talking about the press conferences between Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, which was very illuminating as to what their draft processes are going to be like. We're going to have a big time show tonight, but unfortunately, we have to start on something of a sour note, a very somber note. To those of you who have been longtime fans and followers of the C3 Panthers podcast, just recently we lost one of our own. Pictured here on the right, Joe Riollano, our brother from another mother. If you knew him, we always called him that freaking Puerto Rican Joe Riallano. And the first time I ever saw this show, I remember listening to Tony and Joey talk passionately about Panther football. And, those who know that Joe went through a very hard time the last few years of his life. He's dealt with, liver failure, esophageal cancer. And in those final days that he was on the pod, you can tell that he struggled. And hearing how passionate Joe was, even in spite of everything that he was going through, it inspired me to want to be the best version of myself and deliver my opinion on the Panthers because somebody like Joe showed me that I could do that, And if it wasn't for Joe Riallano, the C3 Panthers podcast would not exist. So we want to dedicate tonight to our boy, Joe Riallano, to all of his family, to all of his friends, to all of his loved ones. He was a husband, a father, a brother, and a beloved family member, and one of the most die-hard Carolina Panther fans you will ever meet in your entire life, man. So tonight is dedicated to you, Joe. We love you. We'll always love you. And you will now and forever be C3 Panthers podcast, brother. We love you, man. And tonight we're going to talk about our favorite Joe moments and really remember the life of this great Panther fan. I'm going to do it with my best friends and some of the best Panther fans that you will ever meet in your entire life. You know it's a special occasion when we have the voice in the house. My brother, CK, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good, Obviously, it was a sad moment to hear about Joe Riallano. I wasn't on the podcast when he was on. Some might say I kind of filled the role that, me and Bad Daddy filled the role that he kind of left when he wasn't able to continue. And it's a sad moment when you hear that that's something that's taken place. But man, that dude suffered so much. I can only hope that whatever he's doing now, he's able to enjoy his peace because he hasn't had it in a long time.
Absolutely, man. A family man, a Christian man. And hey, like me, he was a diehard fan of his Clemson Tigers. And I'm really, it's going to be sad not being able to look forward to some Clemson football with them as well. Next up, you know him, you love him. He's known for telling people to shut the hell up. And we love him for it. It's our man, Panther Pickle. Pickle, how are you, brother?
I'm doing all right. Been very busy this week. Shout out to C3 Colby who stepped in Monday for me. Took over spaces. Much appreciated. You know what? I didn't really know Joe, but Joe did stop in on C3 spaces when we got started, and there was times that we would struggle, or times I would get kind of downhearted, and Joe uh uh PM'd me once and told me to keep my head up, that just keep pounding and it'll be all right. And
Yeah.
Joe would say, folks, keep pounding, because Joe
Always.
kept pounding to the end.
Joe was the embodiment of keep such a big-hearted man. He would go out of his way for people that he loved. And, normally whenever you talk politics with people, they get heated, right? Because that's what politics is. But Joe was a very passionate person about a lot of things politically. And I remember it being so easy to talk to him. Even though we had some differences of opinions on certain things, he always enjoyed the conversation, and it was always easy with him. Every type of conversation that Joey was in was easy, man. He was just great people. We're going to be missing him, man. Next up on the panel, my man, my brother. He is the brand ambassador. He always waves that C3 flag high and mighty and proud. And tonight, we're going to wave it high and mighty for our boy Joe Riollano, my man, the brand ambassador, Diesel Skills. Deez, what's up, brother?
What is going on, Cody? I'm glad to be a part of C3 and glad to be a part of what Joey helped build here and what he co-founded here for C3. I want to send out my condolences and heartfelt condolences to Tony, the professor. I know that he misses this man. This man meant a lot to him, and along to the rest of the people that watch Joe and were entertained by Joe and enjoy hearing about the Carolina Panthers from Joe. And of course, Joe's family, most importantly of all. I'm really sorry to those that are missing him and need him in their life. And I want everyone to know that I and Pickle and the rest of C3, we will do our best to honor what that man laid down, the foundation for us. We will carry the banner. We will wave it proudly, and we will cheer for these Carolina Panthers. And one thing we will always do, Cody, is we will keep pounding C3.
Keep pounding C3. And Joe from beyond is going to help us keep pounding even more. Joe, we love you, brother. Next up is a longtime friend of the C3 Panthers podcast. We love going back and forth with this dude. We got Mr. T Money 1993 in the building. T Money, how are you, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? I just wanted to say rest in peace to Joe, man. Y'all have really grown. It's a lot of guys that's part of C3 and part of the C3 brand now, but I was definitely around back then when Joe and Tony and Panthers Drafter was just holding it down every week, just the three of them. Like they were very special, man. And Joe was a great guy. I've been a guest on the C3 since back in those days, 2013, 2014, 2015. And Joe was just an amazing guy, man. And like you said, he was somebody who could disagree with you, but he could disagree with you to where it was constructive, where it wasn't just, everybody cussing each other out and going crazy. Yeah. And I see my boy Tony in here. I know Tony's hurting, man, just because I know how close y'all were. And just shout out to Joe's family. And, like I said, that original C3 team, like I said, y'all have grown, y'all branched out, but that original team was it was a power, and it was a different strength that they had to be on every week, just the three of them holding it down.
Yes, sir, man. And yeah, we have the man himself, the professor, Tony Dunn. Tony, I know you're a busy man. We appreciate you. Obviously, our heart goes out to you, man. We know that's your brother. Tony Dunn, C3 legend. How are you, brother?
Can you guys hear me? I'm on the mobile in the car.
Yeah, you're good, man. We hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, one, I'm kind of happy. I'm driving and I got to go run around and do all this for my family so I don't break down on the internet in front of you guys. I've lost people in the past, like anybody has, but this has been especially emotional to me. And I mean, it should be. I miss Joe. I had the pleasure of spending a day with him about 10 days ago. So that was a big blessing. But this guy, he chaperoned my junior, senior in high school, and we got him arrested. Well, not arrested, but he ended up taking the ticket for, minors getting drunk as shit and acting a fool for us. He was my roommate. And I mean, he really is. The last thing he did say to me was, "You're my brother," and he couldn't talk. We had to lift him into the bed. I mean, it was, the poor guy. He has suffered for a long time, and he paid penance for an army of people. So God bless him. He hadn't eaten a meal in like 2 years. He'd been living off a feeding tube. So look, like his brother told me, he's like, he's eating a steak or something right now in heaven, we hope. So look, see, Joey was not only was my brother, but I do want to just remind, like everybody's already said, him and I started this, and we started it to keep up with each other, basically. He had moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and it's a 5.5-hour drive for me. And he wasn't able to come back a lot either. So we would talk every Sunday about football. And that was the way we kept our friendship together. And that's why we started it. I mean, I guess you kind of start different things for different reasons. I guess at one point we thought, we'll make money off of this one day. Well, that was a pipe dream in so many ways. But it really just was a way for us to stay friends. And the first ever video we did was called a halftime hangout. And I'm glad I got to halftime hang out with him in life.
Yeah, man. Again, Tony, all of our thoughts go out to you and to his family. And like people are saying in the chat, there would be no C3 Panthers podcast without you two, man. And it is beautiful that it was started as a way for you two to stay in contact with each other. And now this thing that started out as a thing between
two friends. I want to say this because I'm breaking up. I'm out in the country right now getting terrible signal. I'll have a lot of prepared things to say on Tuesday. I thank you guys for thinking about him and talking about him. And when we talk about people and remember them, we honor them. So thanks a lot, guys.
Love you, Tony. Have a great one. Drive safe, man.
But
Tony Dunn, ladies and gentlemen, the professor, man, he's got a heavy heart. I know that a lot of you know that in life, you have family, you have blood that you're born with. You share blood with people. But then you meet certain people in life, and very quickly they become the same kind of family, and you form unbreakable bonds with people. And I know that's something that Tony and Joey shared with one another. And like I was saying at the end there, what started out as a show for two friends to be able to keep in contact with one another has turned into something that means so much to so many. Dude, I know I look forward to Tuesday and Friday all the time, man. Being a part of the C3 Panthers podcast has been one of the biggest honors of my life. The fact that I get to come out here and hang with you boys every single Friday and every single Tuesday is just a blessing, man. And to meet all the people that we've met and to know that all started with Joey, that's special, and that's something I'm prepared to take with me forever. And it's something that I intend to remember for as long as we draw breath and get the incredible blessing of being a part of the C3 Panthers podcast. So, yeah, man, I really don't know too much of what else to say. Throughout the day or throughout the rest of the show, if anyone would like to chime in with something to say about Joey or a memory or just anything, we'll put them up here in the comments, and feel free to speak it up whenever you talk about it. Yeah, today's it's a special edition, man. This is dedicated to our man Joe Riollano, the whole show, who loved him some Panther football. So we're gonna continue to move forward with the show, and we're gonna have these heavy hearts, but we're gonna have Joe in our hearts the whole time as we keep pounding. Go ahead, Pickle.
I just wanted to say, I didn't know Joe really a few times here and there. Chatted with him on Twitter. And once or twice he was popped in here on Friday. But I did love to go back and watch the older shows. It let me know how hard that they worked to get where it's at now. And I just enjoy that. I enjoy going back, and it's not just that. I enjoy seeing the hairstyles that Tony has over the years, the hat, and some of the gimmicks he tried earlier on that he did once or twice and kind of forgot about after that. So it's kind of funny at the same time, and it's things you can laugh at and look back. And Tony would laugh at a lot of that too. So, shout out to those who were part of the show way back in the day that's seen it grow to what it is now. So keep pounding, folks, and let's remember next week there's a draft, and I believe Joe would want us to keep talking Panther football.
I know he would. That's for certain. And shout out to Rock Jones with a great reminder to cherish the present because tomorrow is not guaranteed. So love hard. And you know what? We come to this podcast to share our love for the Carolina Panthers. And that's what we're going to do. It's a free-for-all, baby. That does not change. If you would like to join the show, I have pinned the link to the top of the chat. If anybody would like to join via Streamyard, they are more than likely to do so. I'll pop it up here on screen. There it is, pinned at the top of the chat. If you would like to be a part of the discussion, jump in on it, man. That's what the Friday free-for-all is all about. Gentlemen, let's really start today's show. We've had a brand new press conference between Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, the final one before the draft, and it was very illuminating. One, did everyone on the panel kind of get to listen to that and listen to some of the things that were said? Okay, I know Pickle, I know Deez has, but there were some very illuminating parts, and specifically the part where Dan Morgan kind of alluded to the fact that they weren't trying to build around Bryce necessarily, but trying to find the best Panther fit. What do you make of Dan Morgan's comment, and do you think it's the right thing to do, or is it a mistake? Boys, it's the free-for-all. Jump on it when you want it.
I believe it's the right thing to do. You can't go in, and maybe I didn't misunderstood him, but you can't take one guy and build the entire offense around. You can, but you've got to go out and get playmakers. You've got to go out and get people that know how to play football. You've got people, and listen, if you get all these people and it all goes together, and for whatever reason Bryce doesn't fit it, or Bryce can't take that next step, then the next guy that you bring in can step in and take care of that, whether it's a couple years from now or next year or whenever it is, if it ever is. And I think Bryce is good to go. I think he's going to have a great year this year. It's just the way I feel. I believe if you look back, he showed a lot of talent throughout his college career, and he showed a lot of moxie, a lot of guts. And I like something that the head coach said earlier this offseason. He said he talks to Bryce Young. He said he's not Mr. Goody shoes. He ain't always happy. He said he's quite pissed off about some things, and that's what I want to hear. Actually, I want to see a mad Bryce. I want to see a motivated Bryce. I want to see a motivated Panther team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
See a motivated Icky.
Hey, listen. Today is a very special occasion, right? We wish it wasn't a special occasion because we're mourning the loss of a great friend. But sometimes when you lose, it's an opportunity for great friends to come back together. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to welcome back to the show one of the OG members of the C3 Panthers Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Mel Mayock, back on the C3 Panthers Podcast. Mel, we've missed you, brother. We wish it was under, different auspices that we were meeting, but it's great to see you again, man. And how are you, brother?
Hey, man, my heart's heavy for sure, but I wouldn't miss the ability to come in and talk about the original OG and Joe. Man, it's so sad that this world's without him tonight, is at least physically. But I'm happy to be back and saying hello to you guys. I certainly in C3 for life. It's been a long time for sure, but you guys tear it up, and I'm proud of you guys keeping that torch going. But I wanted to come in and pay my respects, man. There was not a better Panther fan out there than Joe Riallano.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
go ahead, CK.
I was gonna say, it's dude was embodiment of what the Panthers are, kind of built around, with the keep pounding mantra. And obviously many of us C3 faithful are the members of C3 have been there since it was you guys. And it's obviously everybody has a heavy heart, but when you were listening to him for years, or maybe not even years, but even just to kind of get introduced into the content creation and the different voices and everything, and that's just something to say about Joe Riallano, man. The dude was he had a unique voice, and I'll always remember that.
No doubt about it. He was just pure. He really was. I don't think anybody except for me, Joe and Tony know this story, but the way that C3 came to be is those guys were, they're lifelong boys, and I used to really enjoy their articles, enjoy their website. I was just a young Panther fan that wanted to hear more than what, people on the NFL Network had to say. Wanted to hear people talking from a fan's perspective. So I latched on to their website and their blogs, and I reached out to them and I said, "Hey guys, you guys speak to me. You're my language. I'd like to join you." And Tony said, "Hey, write us up some sample stuff and send it in, and we'll see what we think." And they read it, and then Joe reached out to me. He's like, "Man, you fit right in the sweet spot. Let's talk about making it the three of us and how we're going to do it." And that's how the Tuesday night podcast started. It was originally going to be at 10 o'clock, but I'm a little bit older. And I said, "Hey, no, make it 9 o'clock." So that's where
I can identify with that.
And you were on the West Coast originally, Mel. So yeah, it was a little easier for you to join at that time.
Absolutely, it was. Well, I think I'd have to think back. I think I actually started with them right before I moved to the West Coast. So that's why the 9 o'clock thing was a deal. And then I continued it when I moved out West. And one of the very biggest reasons I haven't been a part of the show and stuff for a very long time is just with my work. I travel a lot, and I'm in airports, and I'm in different cities and different places, and can't be reliable. So, I don't think that's fair to any show to be taking calls out of hotel rooms and stuff. But Joe was the man. Anytime I felt sorry for myself traveling and not being able to keep up and all that kind of stuff, I thought about the stuff that he went through. He that picture that I posted of him yesterday, he and Tony came to my house. I had moved back to the East Coast, and they came to my house, and we went to a game together. And that shot was before the game. And, he was on like a mobile dialysis unit that, he had to take that at my house. And that was many, many years ago. So he's been going through this stuff for a very long time, and he's been through a lot. And he was as tough as nails, and definitely epitomized keep pounding. And, I love the man. And even when I stepped away, and he stayed in touch with me and said, "Hey, you're my brother. Love you. Hope you're doing well." And we stayed in touch. He's a great guy.
Absolutely. And Tony always says that the C3 podcast seeks to provide that feel like you're in the car driving to and from the game with your friends talking Panthers football. And I think that's what drew so many people to the pod, especially in those early days. hearing you, Tony, and Joey just having great conversations about this team. It was so clear how passionate you guys were and are about the Carolina Panthers, and that's what made everybody gravitate towards Joe, just being somebody that he was passionate. He wasn't afraid to get a little bit feisty, but he was also very accepting of a wide variety of opinions about everything, about politics, football, you name it, marijuana legalization. He was a super passionate human being, and I think
freaking Puerto Rican.
That freaking Puerto Rican, man, we love him. The freaking Puerto Rican. Man, we could all stand to learn something from Joe and how much passion he had and showed for every single thing that he loved in his life.
Absolutely. Another story I'll share just real quick. It just shows how tough he was. We went on a Roaring Riot trip, and it may have even been the first year that Roaring Riot was doing their fan road trips together. But Tony and Joe and I took a road trip with the Roaring Riot down to Jacksonville for the season opening game in 2015. It was the year we went to the Super Bowl. We had no idea that we were going to be going, right? But it was an awesome time. We rode down, and he wasn't feeling that great. He was a little weak, but he was there. So I think if I felt that badly, I could have easily said, "No, guys, I'm staying home. You guys send me some pictures." But he was there, man. We went to the tailgate. He was sitting over in the under the shade. He wasn't out mingling and stuff, but people were coming over to him. But he was just sitting back, sipping on a beer, having a good time, sharing the love and sharing the moment, and had a great time. So I'm a better person for having known him for sure.
Absolutely. I think we all are. To know Joe was to really experience true friendship. Like, that's the type of friendship that you might never come across again in the rest of your days, and we're certainly better for having known him. And again, he was such a passionate Panthers fan. Part of the way that we're going to honor him is to continue to talk about this team that so drives us crazy, the Carolina Panthers. And Mel, it's been such a long time since we've spoken to you. I'd be remiss if we didn't kind of get your current analysis on the state of the Carolina Panthers. What do you feel about Bryce? What do you feel about these new coaches and Dan Morgan? And, what do you think that we're currently heading in the right direction under this new leadership?
Yeah, that's a great question. And anybody who knows me and listened to me before, I'm the eternal optimist. I always think we're heading in the right direction, and I always back folks. And I'm passionate about backing folks. People will bash me, but I backed Matt Rule until it was obvious that it was time to let go, right? Because I would still say the man wasn't quite as bad as he was made out to be. Now, that's a topic for another day. But but we made some very bad decisions, and at the end of the day, I think it's my fault that the Panthers are so bad. Because, guys, I have season tickets. Guess when I bought season tickets? 6 years ago.
Huh?
Yeah, or 6 years ago. So 2017. We have not been good since. So it's really my fault. But I will say I'm cautiously optimistic because I really like Dave Canales. I really like his passion. I really like the fact that he has come in and he was not predetermined to have relationships with certain guys and say, these are my boys. He's starting from a clean slate. I've loved Dan Morgan for a long time. I was I've been a fan since 95, right? And I watched Dan Morgan play at the stadium, cheering for him. And I posted today a story where I met him at a restaurant that he owned. 2009, he opened up, and I sat right beside his family. And I still use the term today when somebody says, should I do this or that? I always say Dan Morgan. And people that know me, and I've been saying it for years, that means do both. You don't have to choose. You don't have to settle. So that was my story with Dan Morgan. I sat beside him at the opening of his restaurant. And I asked my wife, I said, hey, should I get the meatball sandwich or the chicken wings? And she said, you should ask Dan Morgan that. So I said, well, hell, why not? Hey, Dan, should I get the wings or the meatball sub? And he said, you got to choose? You ain't got to choose. Get both. So that's kind of my Dan Morgan story. But I like Dan. I think I love the fact that he went and for no money worked as an intern in Seattle, worked his way up. He loves the Panthers. He knows football. He's taken an approach of getting everybody on the same page, and he has characteristics that he wants to go after. I don't think it's going to be a light switch. I don't think that we're going to be barn burners and turn it around and be in the Super Bowl this coming year, though I'll be rooting for it, right? But I do think they're on the right track by solidifying the front. So, one game I was at the year before last was the Tampa Bay Bucks game in Tampa against the Panthers, where both guards got injured. The last game of the season, we were trying to get in the playoffs, and both guards went down. Yeah. And I said, we're screwed. And that screwed us last year because the biggest problem we had was protecting Bryce in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. That really, really hurt. So going in and getting Robert Hunt, getting the other big guard out of Seattle, right?
Damian Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. I think that those are underrated moves that are huge, and I would love to see us get, and I know you're a proponent of it, Cody, is get somebody like Frazier at pick number 33, just for the long-term solidifying that center position.
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, you've already spent so much money on the O-line. Yeah. Why not cap it all off with a center if you can? And Mel, it's kind of funny that you talk about Dan Morgan saying why not both, because at the most recent press conference, it kind of felt like that's what he said. That the narrative has been, well, you have to put talent around Bryce. Whereas they kind of clarified and said, well, no, we're just looking to make the best fit for the Carolina Panthers. And this kind of runs in opposition to what many Panther fans have been saying that they wanted, right? Because we want to build around Bryce and give him a chance to rebound from what was a rather disappointing rookie campaign. But it feels like when you hear Dan Morgan and Dave Canales say this, it feels like it opens the possibility of a defensive player at pick 33 or 39, potentially even both, if they feel like they have guys that they love at any particular position. They left it very much open-ended. How did you
wouldn't you think one of the Panthers' history is middle linebackers, going back to Sam Mills, and then you had Dan Morgan, and then you had John Beeson, right? And then you had Luke Kuechly. That's been our stalwart position. So with the GM being a middle linebacker, I would not be surprised at all to see him go middle linebacker in one of those first two picks, either 33 to make a statement or 39, depending on which way they're going. But Peyton, out of my alma mater, NC State.
Oh yeah, everybody loves them some.
No, not everybody.
Come on, why?
I don't want Peyton Wilson. One, I know this fan base, they gonna expect for him to be Luke, and when he's not, everybody's gonna be crying and disappointed for one.
Well, hey, how was Derrick Brown his rookie season?
I mean, I like Derrick Brown. I like that as a pick, man.
But he wasn't that good. People called him a bust. People called him a bust the first 2 years. They really did.
It takes some time. And I think what scares everyone about Peyton is the injury history. He's had 2 ACL tears and a pretty bad dislocated shoulder. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk over you.
No, you're good. There was a linebacker that never missed a snap in college, never had an injury, was a ferocious competitor. The other one had 3 straight years of ACL tears. One was Dan Morgan, never missed a snap in college. How'd that go? A lot of concussions.
Retired early.
Yep. 3 ACL tears. Thomas Davis. How'd that go? So
his best ball after.
My point is you gotta take that all with a grain of salt and just.
But here's the difference in that. Thomas Davis was drafted because we never beat Michael Vick until we drafted Thomas Davis. That's how fast and athletic he was. Peyton Wilson, for all the Luke comparisons in the world, is 25 pounds lighter than Luke, but still running the same 40 as Luke. Like, you're not even special athletically for your
He
size.
ran faster than Luke.
Did you say he ran like
he ran like
23 miles an hour?
I think Luke ran a 4.58 at the combine, and I believe Peyton ran like a 4.41. If I'm not mistaken, somebody might have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure there was almost like
him running that fast.
He was.
And they put the side by side little comparisons. I thought it had the same 40 times.
That's DK Metcalf speed he was running.
I read an article where Peyton Wilson was talking to some folks and it was at the combine, and he said that he was hurt a lot earlier in his college career. He said, but he got some nutritionist, he gained some weight, he gained some muscle. He said he ain't been hurt that much in the last 2 years of his college career. At the combine, they did the medical on him and were done a lot earlier than folks thought. And even NFL doctors there said he's good to go. He's good to go. And in fairness, back then, and I don't mean to seem like forever, the NFL's changed quite a bit between the roles of a linebacker then to now. Now you're expected to know a lot more about everybody who's looking for the next Luke.
And you're expected to cover a lot more too.
And you have to cover a lot more than you used to.
And I don't know who just posted that in the chat, but they were spot on. You know, I think if he's there in a third, it's an absolute no-brainer. If he's there at pick number 65, spot on, right?
For sure.
39, I think there will be a lot of debate. I would be okay with it, but I could understand there's also a lot of other talent out there. You know,
also if we trade back later into the second round, I could see that if we're getting a little more assets and we're able to pick him up as a late second rounder, I could see that, because we talked about in that press conference, Morgan did talk about that they were talking about 39 possibly being a trade back option because obviously there's an advantage, I think, slightly to not having the first round draft pick, and that is you don't have to force yourself to pick somebody who's just a fit, right? You can see how the board falls. You might be able to trade back. So, I mean, we're going to see what they do. I have a feeling that 37 is going to be a trade back candidate.
Real quick before we go forward, let me read these 2 super chats. Then I'm gonna introduce somebody. Nirvash just I was rewatching some of Bryce's college plays. Those huge plays he had down the field, he had excellent pass protection. I'm gonna be mad if we don't get a center early. I don't trust Austin Corbett at all. I think a lot of fans share that same sentiment. Thank you, Nirvash, for the $10. And AWS Drummer 25 to start a GoFundMe for Joe. C3 fam will help. I will inquire. I'll ask Tony if the family is in need of anything. And if that's something that we can do, then we would absolutely do something like that for Joe, without question. Let me welcome my boy Ant back to the Friday Free for All. Anthony, how are you, brother?
Hey, man. I'm all right. Hope y'all boys are doing okay.
Yeah, man. We're just talking about that press conference and what we think of Dan and Dave pretty much saying that they're looking for the best Panther fit as opposed to just building around Bryce. That's the discussion that we're having now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the first things first is, Dave Canales, he wasn't here when we drafted Bryce. I know personally that's just what I've been wanting to see, is like I just want to give him a fair chance. And like necessarily what Nirvash said, I think the issue is that I think them getting a better a real offensive line helps him just as much as getting another receiver, because yes, there were drops, but I mean, he didn't have much time to throw. But in terms of the fit for the Panthers, yeah, I mean, I think they just want, with one of those top picks, I think they want someone that just represents what this organization is good on. And if that's a linebacker, that's a linebacker. If that's something else, that's something else. But I just want to clarify, because I've been listening in. I'm not expecting any linebacker to be Luke Kuechly. I'm not expecting, any wide receiver to be Steve Smith. I just think we've been so spoiled with those type of players. I mean, those are Hall of Fame type of players. I don't expect that from these guys. So I think, like, in the terms of what T-Money was bringing up, it's hard to put those expectations on those players. And if they're not going to reach them, I don't want the fan base to go, crazy about it. But I mean, Dan, this isn't like he's not GMing just for Bryce. I think there's more we could do for him, but it's also, I think he just wants to get the best player available. Now, when he means culture fit, I hope that means that he's not looking at like who best fits the team as just like a player like that he has rated as. Like, I still think he can take the best player available, and that can still be a player that fits the culture here. Because I just think that's something we need to focus on. Like, we got holes everywhere, so it's like, take the best player that you feel fits the culture, but also believe that he's the best player on the board. Like, don't take someone that you could get later in the draft just because you're afraid, you're gonna miss him and you think he could bring this energy to this
Don't
team.
reach for someone that could be a bit. Let me ask you all this, and this is to everyone, to anyone who wants to answer. Would you be disappointed if the Panthers don't walk away with a wide receiver at either 33 or 39? Like, is it a mistake if we don't grab a receiver at all?
To me, it ain't, depending on what they get. I mean, if for example, I brought this up to CK earlier off the show. You don't know what's going to fall. I think some major talent's going to fall out of the first round at 33. If we don't trade out of neither one of them picks, which we may, if we don't trade out, what if a top 20 offensive tackle falls to you at 33? You have to take that. That's just the best guy out there, because you don't know the future of Taylor Moton. He's going to make $30 million this year and $30 million next year. They haven't restructured his contract. I thoroughly believe if they absolutely was, they already would have. You don't know the future to that. You also don't know where Icky lands. So Icky may turn out to be great, but what if a top 20 tackle falls to them, they don't take it, and then Moton says Icky fails, and then
Pickle,
go ahead.
You're absolutely 100% spot on. And when it comes to the draft, I always ask myself, how stupid are you going to feel 5 years from now if you go with a wide receiver because you need a wide receiver, quote unquote, but that wide receiver is very mediocre and somebody was picked right after you that's a Hall of Fame, say, linebacker or safety or corner. You take the player that has the potential to be great, that has the potential to be in the Hall of Fame. In the draft, you can't draft solely for need. Now, if you got a bit of tolerance there, right? If they're both right around the same, then you're going to go with your need. But if you can see that somebody's going to be a Hall of Fame caliber player, you don't pass them up just because they're a guard or a tackle, right? They will fit into your plans. You want great players. Forget the position. That's the way you have to do it.
There was a time in the Panthers draft, and many people will remember this, that the Panthers bypassed drafting what we call now a future Hall of Fame quarterback so we could take a linebacker converted from safety. So if you know then what you know now, would you have done it different? So you can't go back and change history, but try not to repeat the same mistakes you've made in the past.
I feel like the past few years, we could say there are other players that should have been the pick, Somebody was going to talk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, for me, I think the biggest thing I'm looking at for 33 is how the quarterbacks fall, because if Bo Nix or Michael Penix make it to the second round and one of those teams that needs a quarterback takes another position in the first round, like the Raiders or the Giants or a team like that, I definitely think we could probably, win in a trade if we trade 33 or 39 for one of those quarterbacks that's still on the board that somebody likes.
You're right, man. That's
Yeah,
going to be a
because then
valuable spot if there's quarterbacks sitting there.
Yeah, then you can just leverage them and get back. I think like if we could get back our second round pick for next year, that would help a lot too.
It
Move
depends
back
on how
to the
far we're
spot.
trying to go back, though, right? Like, you wouldn't want to move to the late 40s, early 50s, would you?
Well, the Raiders, I think I did a mock last night on another show, but I think the Raiders picked like early 40s. I think like maybe 42.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got the thought process the Chargers have right now. I'm willing to trade down, but you're going to have to pay a little bit extra than you want to pay.
It'd be nice to get that second.
And somebody
round.
would for a quarterback, I think.
I mean, because back in the day, the only way you get the second round pick is if you gave up a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'd be awful nice. And I know people say it ain't never going to happen, but it'd be awful nice to have.
Well, last
have an extra
Tuesday,
first round pick next
that
year.
CBS did that theoretical trade to move up to 14 if we give up both our second rounders, and they were like, well, both of those together is around the same value of a pick in the teens. So it is something to remember that, and Dan Morgan said in the press conference that they don't want to box themselves in. They don't want to put themselves where, okay, we have to do this or we have to do this. Right. I genuinely do feel that if there's a player that entire front office has conviction on, I don't think that they're going to be hesitant to move up 44. If the price is right. And if they feel like this guy is going to be a future Hall of Famer for the Panthers, then yeah, I want them to be able to act if they feel convicted. At the same time, I know that Dan Morgan was very good friends with Scott Fitterer, and Fitterer traded down a whole lot his first year to try and get more picks to bolster the roster. So I really could see them going a number of different directions with those two picks. Like, it's a lot of ammunition to move up or down.
Well, yeah, I think two things. With the Scott Fitter thing, it just hit me like a couple days ago. The reason he traded down so much was so he could use those other picks to trade for other players. I don't think Dan's going to do that. Like, I think that's why, like, the reason he was okay with trading all that capital for, Sam Darnold that 1 year, and then, CJ Henderson. I don't think Dan's going to do that, but I like how he's
Seattle's roster was, relatively better because they traded down even after Fitterer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. But like, I like how he's like I'm okay with trading up a couple picks if you're getting a guy that has a first round grade. Mm-hmm. If you're getting someone that like is still on the table, this class has a ton of talent. It's very deep. So like that's why pick 33 is very valuable. You're not gonna you can't lowball yourself for trading that pick. You gotta push your limit and just be like, hey, we're not trading back unless you're giving us what we want here. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we don't have info on Dan really with trades yet. I mean, he made that one trade. Yeah, that was a win for us. I mean, if he can make more trades like that, then it's like, yeah, I'm okay with moving down really or moving up.
Yeah, I would drop all the way to 44. To answer Cody's question, I would drop 44 or even to 50s, but you're giving me an extra pick this year and a first next year. That's just what you're giving me, or I'll keep 33 to myself. That's right. And that's
Mel,
hardball you have to play.
Yeah, go ahead, Mel. And then I want to ask you a question since we've got you.
Ask me a question because I was going to give a idea on a different topic, kind of almost like a little bomb to leave because I do have to jump. But
okay, no problem. I was just going to ask you: would you rather draft a receiver, or do any of the free agent names entice you enough to want to trade to go get them? Like a Brandon Ayuk, who's been heavily rumored. T. Higgins is another name that Panther fans have wanted a lot. What would you be upset if we decided to go out and get a wide receiver on the market?
My thought on that is, as much as I love Brandon Ayuk, and I tell you, if they did get him, I would be excited. I don't think that's the way I would go as a general manager right now, because I don't think we're one player away to where that's going to send us deep into the playoffs, right? And you're gonna end up having to sign the guy for $25+ million. and that's going to eat up your cap space. And you got a lot of guys you're going to want to re-sign.
Mhm.
So I personally would go after. I mean, to me, if Xavier Worthy, 4.21 speed is there, that's the route I would go. You can't teach speed. As opposed to going out and paying $25-30 million for somebody. That's just the way I would go, because then you can build around it.
Agreed.
But
Right.
I like that idea.
Agreed. I don't want to trade for either one of them.
yeah.
But go ahead, Mel. What did you want? What did you want to ask?
Yeah, I do got to drop, but I have a real suspicion that if the right player is there, what they have in mind is they want to go cornerback. The reason I say that is notice they've not picked up our man, his 5th-year option, J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn.
Right.
They have until May 20-something, I believe. to
33 though. I don't think there's no corner you can
May
take.
or something.
Besides,
I don't know. Well, hold on now. Hold on.
Who
I just want to say I have seen a lot of mocks where Nate Wiggins, the cornerback from Clemson, has started to fall. I've seen Kool-Aid McClinch.
Yeah.
I've seen Kool-Aid fall down the board.
TJ Tampa. That's the only 3.
I've even seen Iowa kid, Cooper DeJean. I've seen him fall. All I'm saying is that if the Panthers did decide to go corner, there could very reasonably be some prospects there that are worth the pick.
Absolutely.
But I think if you take a corner at 33, then you're pretty much closing the door on Gilly.
Well, this is the thing. If you're
but a younger player, it's a younger player anyway. You want the younger, cheaper player.
Much as we love Gilly, that's okay, right? I mean, if you get a Kool-Aid or a Wiggins there at 33, you've got one hell of a defensive backfield this coming year, right? I mean, you really do. And then you got a lot of options with Horn, because if Horn goes out there and plays 2 games again this year,
right. Even the best case scenario, let's say Horn plays healthy all year, knock on wood, and then you have another corner that plays well. Those are 2 shutdown corners.
And because you signed Derek Brown, which was a much needed and wonderful move, right? Because you re-signed Brown, now you've got that franchise piece to play. So instead of giving him the 5th-year option, you could put the franchise on him after the 4th year, and you're paying the same amount that you would have had he been the 5th-year option been picked up. So now you're not committing. Remember Sam Darnold, they picked it up early, and then they wish they never done it. So now they got that card they can play a little bit later, see how it plays out. So I think if Kool-Aid's there, if Wiggins is there, I think that's your pick. I really do. We'll see.
How healthy is Kool-Aid right now, though?
He's getting back.
They got to kick the tires.
I didn't even know if he had some injury concerns. But hey, before we go forward, Mel, bro, we love you, man. We appreciate you so much for jumping in and coming on C3 again and saying the kind words about our guy, Joe Riollano. Our heart goes out to his entire family, to you and Tony. We know you guys are hurting. We're all hurting, man. But we appreciate you, brother. And before people jump off of the free-for-all, I always give them a chance to have their final words, their final thing that they would like to say to Panther fans before we wrap them. Mel, the floor is yours. What would you like to say before you get out of here tonight, man?
Hey, man, the Panthers are bigger than any one game, any one player, any one day. And it's a mantra, it's a thought, it's a way of life, and nobody exhibited that better than Joe Riallano did. And I strive to be as good a man as he was. So just keep pounding. And when you have bad days, keep pounding. When we lose some games, keep pounding. And when we win the Super Bowl, we'll be there and we'll celebrate together. That's where I'll leave it.
Pounding. Mel, we love you, brother. We appreciate you. You enjoy your Friday night, and we'll be seeing you again soon, man.
Right on, man.
If you ever decide to drop in on Twitter Spaces with me and Deez, you're more than welcome.
Love it, man. Let's talk about it. All right. Cool.
Yes, sir. Mel, you have a great night.
Thank y'all. Keep
All right,
at it.
later, Mel.
Peace, brother.
Mel Mayock, man, one of the OG C3
OG.
faithful, man. I mean, yeah, we appreciate Mel. We thank him for jumping on and
Could I?
giving his thoughts. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, it was. I mean, I wasn't on this podcast when he was here, but man, yeah, he seems like a really good guy. I wanted to talk about what he was just talking about.
Yeah.
Because if we're drafting a cornerback so if you're not sure about J.C. Horn, right? Is it best to draft like a nickel cornerback like that Michigan guy? Because like that's where I'm like, I would rather just take a guy Nate Wiggins that can play man to man and like I just feel like taking a nickel cornerback is not a solution to questions with
I think they're thinking about him. If you're banking on Gilly coming back, then you take the Michigan corner.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think that's too. At 33 or even 39, it's just for me, it's way too early to draft a guy who you're basically going to play him at nickel.
So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Panthers breakdown said, according to Tony Pauline, people in the know believe that the Panthers could draft cornerback Mike Sandstrill at the top of the second round. And he's 5'10", 185 pounds, kind of on the smaller side, a nickel corner, but he's aggressive. But a lot of people have kind of been balking at this. He has that ball hawk mentality, but some people are like, this would be an overdraft. What do y'all buy into this? What do you know about Mike Sandstro? Do you think this is true?
Only reason why I buy into it a little bit is because Dan Morgan was talking about getting playmakers and getting turnovers on defense. And that is, I mean, what he was able to do at Michigan. But
yeah, he had like 4 takeaways last year, didn't he?
Yeah. But like I said, second round is a little early to me to take a nickel guy. But
yeah.
You know.
The heights don't bother me as much. I mean, I'd prefer a little taller corner, but the height doesn't bother me as much as the fact that this guy's played predominantly nickel. He very rarely ever bounces outside, and I'm just not. I'm like UT Money. I think drafting a nickel corner in the second, it's just too early.
That's what you do for a team that's farther down the line. That's missing only a couple pieces, you know, for their defense to be very, very good. And I just think we're not at that point yet.
I remember,
like I said, if you take Sandstrom, you're pretty much banking we get Gilly. Is what would have to be their mindset.
Hey, let me welcome some people to the show. We got my man C3 Evan Sports Talk. Evan, what's up, dude? Big Ev, you here? Evan, you here?
Yeah.
I'm
doing something real quick.
No, you're good. I'll come
a little bit. No, yeah.
No, you're good. I'll come back to you. And we got my man C3 Cole back in the building. Cole, what's up, my brother?
Cody Lack, happy Friday to you, bud. Thank you for being here as always.
Yeah, man, happy to have y'all as always. Y'all make the show go. Yeah, man, what do y'all think? To whoever wants it, Evan and Cole, since y'all are new on the show today, I'll let y'all jump on this first. What are y'all thinking about this 33rd and 39th pick? They're saying we're going to draft a Panther fit as opposed to just putting weapons around Bryce. What do you think that means? And what do you make of the report that the Panthers really like a nickel corner out of Michigan with one of their 2 second-round picks?
I'll take this one. Cody, I'm gonna be really honest about mine. I for sure was one of the ones stomping my feet for a wide receiver with the first 2 picks, but it might not happen. And if we draft right, I'll actually be okay with that. If you get me a solid center and then you get a middle linebacker or a corner with those first 2 picks, I'm cool with it. Because I got news for you. The receivers that we're sniffing, we can get the same style of receiver, if not better, a little bit later, I feel, in Tez Walker and Malachi Corley. I feel like they can be just as good or the same exact player you would be drafting with one of our first 2 picks. So I wouldn't mind seeing it, but all that has to fall into place. We know that's highly doubtful, but I'm looking forward to see what happens.
I
Now,
think
we
that
got
definitely did kill the receiver crowd. I think
Right.
Dan Morgan press conference definitely killed that dream for anybody who had that dream.
now, folks. In a personal note, and Dees knows who I'm talking about, and so does Evan, I'm sure, and Cole. We have this gentleman that's popped in on Friday Free for All before, and he comes to our spaces a lot. He keeps screaming that he thinks he's done it for weeks now that we're going to draft two defensive players at the second round. I would rather trade out of that somewhere just so Christensen ain't right. I just don't want to see that man be right.
Did he say
Pickle.
what? Did he say what positions or just?
Nah, he thinks
He's on that
that-
Peyton Wilson train like me.
yeah, he's on to Peyton Wilson, and he thinks we need a corner. He says that's their top need is a corner, and he loves Peyton Wilson.
I'm not
Well,
going
if-
defensive unless the edge pass rushers were way better. If the edge, if you were telling me the edge rushers was better this year, and I could get an edge rusher as one of those defensive players, I would be fine. But I'm not cool with going defense.
But dude, I'm just saying, if we draft a Nate Wiggins and a Peyton Wilson, bro, it'd be hard for me to not be happy in that scenario. You know what I'm saying?
I prefer Cooper over Peyton anyway, though.
I can give you 138 reasons why you're wrong.
Hey man, let me welcome in two more people. We got my man Christian Hunt back on the free for all. Christian, what's up?
Oh, he heard you call him Pickle.
My ears were fucking itching.
Yeah, he must have heard you. You're like Beetlejuice. You said his name 3 times and you just pop up.
Well, us old men are kind of like that sometimes.
Yep, I understand. And next up, we have the opposite of an old man. We have our boy JJ back in the building. JJ, what up, dude?
What's up, y'all? How the
What's up,
free for
JJ?
all been so far?
We've been doing good, man. Today's been a tribute show to Joe Riollano, one of the co-founders of C3 Panthers Podcast. Just recently passed away. So today's in Joe's honor.
Damn.
Yeah, man, but we're just having a free-for-all, man. Just
Prayers
loving
up.
Panthers. What's up?
I said prayers up.
Yeah, man. Prayers up to Joe Riallano. Boys, what y'all got for the show, man? We're kind of just talking what we're doing at 33 and 39 and how we might not even draft a wide receiver at those two positions based on what Dan and Dave were saying at the press conference.
Hey, I think Mel's onto something. You guys were right. I have been preaching. Corners are not only a need, but they're deceptively deep in this class. There's not like the high, first rounders and first round talent. I just think there's like a cornucopia of second to fourth round talents or same talents. They just might go into second to fourth rounds. And there's kind of like this selection of who fits your defensive scheme, who fits your locker room. Just kind of pick your poison. Now it's just a matter of if you want to get your guy in the second round, you might want to pull the trigger or wait till the fourth round. I am a big fan of Peyton Wilson, so I don't know, man. I think they're going defense. My personal wants would be center and Peyton Wilson or center and receiver. But if Peyton Wilson's there, I would take him over receiver. But it's just all the signs are pointing to me that I think they're going defense, and I think one of them is Peyton Wilson and the other one's a cornerback.
Okay.
See, I just feel like with corner and center, like how somebody said about the receiver class, like I feel like you could wait later and still get talent that's the same or that could grow to be better. Like rather than taking one of them in a second, I feel like I can wait and get maybe a Kalen Carson out of Wake Forest, who I think is going to be a really good corner and already has a bond with J.C. Horn. Or even center wise, like I might not have to take a center in a second. I could maybe wait and get
You don't.
What's my boy out of Georgia, Van Pratton.
Van Pratton.
You could go later and get Florida center if you wanted to. He's not bad.
That's not, so I don't think you necessarily have to take those positions early, or even I like corner wise. I like Kalen King too.
Well, and I agree with you. I think you could potentially get a good corner that can develop in, let's say, the fourth round.
Definitely, I think the third round, it's just a matter of if a team values let's say a couple guys, like they really like a couple guys, or let's say this Mike Saintsville from Michigan, he may not be well known in the media, but amongst scouting rooms, they might find his talent and how he fits their team like pretty high. So they might be looking at it and just saying, hey, let's just pull the trigger. I get it. If we'll see what happens. But I that's why I'm saying it's exciting to me, this corner class, because it's just you have some guys that have been doing it for years. They have their top 5, and then you go to someone else, and their top 5 is almost a completely different top 5 outside of Kenyon Mitchell. So I agree, but I also think that there's just, if they do select one, I'm gonna trust that they like the kid.
Yeah.
Or you can
kinda
even
what I've
wait and
been-
get what's the corner out of Georgia?
Kamari Lassiter.
Yeah, I like him too.
Do y'all have an opinion on who the best corner in this draft is?
Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell or Terry and Arnold, but personally for me, I probably have Quinyon Mitchell over Terry and Arnold. Just because he has
Wiggins.
a quicker play speed. You got Nate first. I'm a Clemson fan, but like even I'm saying Nate isn't number 1 in this class.
No, he's got the best man-to-man coverage in the class, in my opinion. So I think he'll pan out the best in the NFL.
How was his zone coverage, Joe? I'm just curious.
I feel like we ran a lot of zone because Clemson will play a lot of 4-3, but we also play a lot of nickel. But we basically would use him in a lot of press, but we would also blitz a lot too, which I feel is something that is underrated for Nate. His speed off the edge, which again I know he's a corner. That's not why
it's odd. It's odd to look at Ivero's system and think what it's going to be this year, because if you go back to his Denver year and his Panther year, he never had great quality players. He never had a second year with the same team as a defensive coordinator, so you don't exactly know what his true system is, because I feel some of the things he did last year was making up for the lack of talent up front or even in the backfield.
But I feel like when Canales got hired, that's what he was saying was sort of one of the benefits of keeping him, right, is that he doesn't necessarily have to have the best talent. It's more about the scheme.
Right. It's just odd to me. And I've said I didn't want the guy just to play nickel, but what if Ivero views him as an outside because Ivero likes to play zone? So I don't necessarily. I don't know. I'm
what I noticed in the first game when we did have J.C. Horn was that like the scheme. Even when I looked at the Broncos play, they like to just leave that one corner out there on an island to try and take up one third of the field, and JC's peel ability is like really great. So like he could just peel off once the ball is thrown and go cover high. So he's done that before. I think we need a corner to be able to actually do that. And so taking a corner is a great suggestion.
Two of the most important positions in Avero's defense to me is nickel corner and what he calls nickel safety, which is why I think that's why he tried to force Jeremy Chin into that role, but it didn't really work out.
Yeah, one thing I will say too real quick on Nate Wiggins is some draft analysts don't even realize with Nate what they're saying is exactly what they said about Emmanuel Forbes last year, and Emmanuel Forbes balled out. He was drafted higher than I expected last year, and then I think anybody was expected last year. He was like a second round guy
last year.
I don't think so, but he actually did really good last year. Like he actually wasn't horrible.
Emmanuel Forbes was little though. Weight wise was the biggest.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, him and Nate are around the same. Nate's actually lighter than him. Nate is lighter than Emmanuel Forbes. And if I'm being honest, I mean, I'm not. I love Nate because I'm a Clemson fan, but also he's a dog. So I wouldn't mind him at 33, but Yeah, I mean I definitely think they're overlooking the weight and the size because he's 6'1". He's 6'1", something. He's like 178 pounds or something like that. And Emmanuel Forbes was like 181 last year, so it's not too. Oh yeah, NFL.com has him listed at 173 pounds.
So again, there's not so much of a difference between them. My thing is, can he cover? If he can cover and use his hands well, then I think he can strengthen and bulking up in the NFL strength and conditioning system and program. I do think that he is one of the best cover corners in this year's draft, even if it doesn't necessarily represent the total package. I like him. I think Nate Wiggins would be a great player for us. That being said, I think there's a few corners in this draft that would really help. You don't think he would be a bad fit for Ivero's scheme? Do you, Evan?
No, I mean I don't really think so. I mean, I think it's sometimes too, these defensive coordinators, they run a different scheme to what a cornerback fits, but they let that specific cornerback play what they're best at. Like, for example, Jalen Ramsey, when he was in Jacksonville, he was really good at press, but they ran a lot of zone when he was still there in like 2017. But they let him press up still just because that's what he was good at.
He was. I mean, they gave him a different position totally. They called him a star when he was in Jacksonville, where he kind of was able to freestyle and do what he wanted to just to make plays.
Well, yeah, but they also just let him play press just because they knew.
Forbes, I don't know if Forbes bounced back, but Forbes was getting torched last year. Forbes got.
That's what I thought.
Forbes got benched because
I remember he got cooked by
he only got benched for like a few weeks.
And the next week, DJ Moore gave him 103 touchdowns, and he got benched the week after that.
Because I know he started off last year. He was thrown at 27 times, and he gave up like 20 catches for like damn near 500 yards.
But I don't know how he did after that.
It was 401 yards that he gave up through the first like 5 weeks or something, and then he got benched through weeks 6 through 8, it said, and then after that it said something else that I just didn't keep reading after that. But
either way, Nate Wiggins.
I remember when he was on AJ Brown, and AJ Brown had like
AJ Brown gave him a day.
I thought Forbes was like 180, but actually Forbes was only like it said he was 166, so he's actually lighter than Nate by a few pounds. But I definitely think Nate, just his competition that he's gone up against and going to Clemson and facing all these schools, and I know that it's not the SEC or anything, which is
bullshit.
Stupid in my opinion.
Don't listen to
it's stupid in my opinion. I mean, that's just a stupid argument, but
everyone transitions to play. Yeah, bro. SEC players aren't professional athletes, so
nobody
they're
is in college.
They're the best college competition for sure, but they're transitioning to the pros, so that shit really don't mean shit.
You say.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of players.
Yeah, look at Pickle.
There's also a lot of players from a lot of other, conferences that end up being Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get the point. It's not like every SEC player is just better because they face better competition. You know what I'm saying?
The only receiver he could have gone up against that would have been like NFL talent. Sorry, Christian. I just want to say this real quick. Is Marvin Harrison Jr. That's like the only guy in college that you could have played up against that would be like playing an NFL receiver.
Oh yeah, big facts.
Yeah. Hey man, let me welcome. Hey man, we have a Bears fan joining the show because it is the free for all. It's free for everybody, man. We got Illinois Jones jumping into the show. Illinois, what's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Hey, you might be muted. We can't hear you if you're saying something.
Hey, what's up, guys? I can't really hardly hear anything.
Can you hear us?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hold on.
You're fine, man. I want to apologize.
No, not really. Hold on.
All right.
For a few minutes, I thought that SEC players were better, and then I remembered that South Carolina is in the SEC. So
Yeah,
You're right.
facts.
They hot trash. They hot
Hey,
trash.
Cody, when you're ready for some Kindle, I got a topic.
Well, shoot, two of the guys you hoping the pass rush for this Carolina Panthers team is from South Carolina. So.
I know, man. What the fuck, bro?
Well, they Panthers now. Maybe
Dude,
they
we
growed up this past year.
We literally share a history with Clemson as the first Panther games ever were played in Death Valley, and they just can't draft a Clemson player. Not only that, they gotta do nothing but sign these damn Gamecocks. Bro, it's like the Panthers are trying to test my patience and my fandom.
Well, who's the last Clemson player that was worth a darn?
You know what, Christian? I'll kick your ass off.
Oh no, it's an honest question, bro. I'm not a kid. I mean, come
I
on.
think as far as
hey, man.
Okay, so that answers it for me.
Bro, we could have had Kristen Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence,
All right,
bro,
all right,
AJ Terrell.
So you ready?
Trevor Lawrence was the first guy that came to my mind. Like, I was
Hi,
with
Mr.
Cody
Lawrence.
when he said we
Or,
would trade for him.
Mr. Lawrence, Illinois.
I'm really
are you
good
good now,
that
buddy?
take.
Hey,
That was a great take, man.
I'm just waiting to stir the pot a little bit. Let me know when I could go.
Yeah.
All right, well, go ahead. Give me that kindling if you got
Okay.
something spicy for us.
Okay, man. So if we do not take a wide receiver, because let's just say the options that they have available to them at the time of drafting weren't going to be anything better than what we currently have. But if they don't, and Bryce is not looking good all year, you know it's coming. They're not going to stop saying it's because we didn't get a wide receiver.
I don't know what receivers available wouldn't be better than what we have.
But that's like, okay, but that's up to the coaching staff, isn't it? Like if they know more than we do and they don't think that they can improve the wide receiver room from where what they have available in the draft room, they opt to not take a receiver, are we going to hear for a year that we failed Bryce?
Yeah.
We're going to hear that anyway. We're absolutely
that would be
gonna,
felon Bryce.
We're going to hear that anyway because, in my opinion, if we draft a guy that for example, if we draft a wide receiver at say pick 39, and we don't draft a receiver at 33, but the guy we get at 39 is a little bit better or a little bit less talented or whatever you want to put it, then people are going to go after that anyway. Whichever
if
way
you pass
you're
up somebody
fans,
thinking they're going to be there at 39.
So in my opinion, pour gas on the fire and let that bitch burn.
And see, and in my opinion, a true number one overall quarterback that you traded up for should be able to work with what we currently have. Especially considering that we just improved the offensive line.
Didn't we just try that?
Hey, so you tell.
What were you saying?
But that's where you have to tell me, like, look, so that mentality is saying that everyone but him was the problem. Where I'm saying I think he's part of the problem. But
what top quarterback do they not build around when they draft them? That's Carolina Panthers is the only people that do that.
Hey, I'm not saying you don't build around. I'm not saying you don't do it. But what I'm saying is that if you got Thielen, the new guy, and then Mingo, a second round pick,
1,000-yard year,
Amir Smith-Marset. So at what point are we good? At what point can we say we're good? So do you need 2 wide receivers? Do you need 1? How many?
It's a
more
good question,
tools?
and it's a good question. And by the way, to add to his point, you know that if the Panthers did take 2 defensive players, if the Panthers did take 2 defensive players, like we were talking about them doing, and then Bryce only has another bad to mediocre type of year, again, you're going to be in that scenario. Well, why didn't you take another weapon for him? Why didn't you get another wide receiver? It's like so much of the future of this team is going to be painted around how Bryce performs and what type of weapons we put around him to allow him to perform.
Exactly. And that's why you need to take a receiver.
All right.
So you just
so even if the talent isn't there,
if the offense plays like last year and you have Peyton Willis, Peyton Wilson, how many more wins you going from 2 to 8, 2 to 2? Like,
I mean, it depends. If your O-line,
you'll have more wins than you do with Edgerrin Cooper.
If your O-line is able to hold on to the ball for some time, T-Money, and your defense isn't constantly staying on the field, then they might be able to make some plays. Hey, let me welcome Let me get my guy Illinois Jones in here. Illinois, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Loud and clear, brother. How are
just-
you? Welcome to the free for all, man.
I just want to say I don't know what you're all arguing about right now, but
We always are.
thank you.
Yeah, we're just
No
chatting
problem.
about. We're just chatting about.
I don't think you
life
could
in
hear
general.
us over all the crowd noise. With the
I
number
don't
one
think
ticket.
Nate Wiggins is the guy you want, man. Seriously.
Why not? Yo, can you
I
hear
don't
us?
think he's going to be able to tackle anyone in the NFL, man. He's too little.
Okay.
Straight up.
Nate Wiggins is too little. You think?
All right, man. I mean, there's a lot of small players in this year's draft. I tell you
Well,
what, it
no,
would be,
I'm not.
I don't know,
would be
man.
hilarious if we ended up drafting Mike Sandstrel.
I mean, like,
who's
if you
175, 5'10", you know what I mean? Like, that's not necessarily better.
Nate
you know what I'm
Wiggins is
saying?
Nate Wiggins is 6'1", 273.
273.
Ain't no corner 273.
Let's go. Draft him.
Nate
All right,
Wiggins,
you're
Nate-
right, 173.
I was about
Well,
to say, damn, Pickle, he must have got fed as hell in a couple
Damn.
weeks.
I was
He
say,
played- he played
ain't no
linebacker now,
linebackers.
y'all.
273.
He played
Yeah, man,
linebacker
put
now.
that man at
Position should be
nose
here.
guard, bro.
Put him
Come
at
on,
tight
man.
I'm
end.
just saying.
Yeah,
he's
Yeah,
3
that's my
inches
bad.
taller than Dante Jackson. I mean, like,
yeah.
they don't really get too much littler than Dante.
For like a top
only
3
like
corner, I
5'11".
would not take him at that spot.
And y'all
You know,
complain
that's
about
all.
Dante tackling for how
'Cause
many
I
years?
know I think he's rated pretty high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I'm
that's
saying,
what I say.
he's way better than Dante.
Yeah, he might be rated high, but if he's,
He's not
available
gonna
at
get it. He's not gonna get as
33,
many picks as
if he's
Dante.
available at 33, then he dropped for a reason. So, regardless of what he's rated, if he's at 33, he's probably not the top 3.
I don't think that's a drop though. If Nate Wiggins is there at 33, I don't think he's a first round lock guy.
No,
Definitely get 2 to 3
I think he's a fringe. Remember, homie ran like a 4.29 or something. So we're talking about very high end athleticism here.
Right.
You
I
don't
agree,
just
but I
teach
don't
that-
think
you
Nate
don't
Wiggins
just
is like
teach
a
that type
first
of
round
speed.
lock. And if he's there at 33,
I agree. No, I agree with you, Timon. I think he's a fringe first rounder. So I think Nate Wiggins' range probably starts around 23, 24.
I
You know
don't.
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
really, on a corner. I don't really. To me, as long as he ain't like 105 or something on a corner like that,
Yeah.
I don't really care about the weight being high. I don't.
Oh, no.
I think a heavy guy. I think that's overrated. I
You got to
think
be able to
weight on a
tackle
corner-
running backs.
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff.
but
No,
can
you
he
gotta
tackle?
be able to
In today's
cover, though.
NFL, in today's NFL, they want you to be more of the perfection tackle instead of the knock you out tackle.
But hey,
And the
even
knock
though
you out tackle
Dante
will get you kicked
Jackson,
out of the game.
bro, even though Dante Jackson was a little bit light in the ass, bro, he was making some tackles in the last 2 years of his career, man. I
Right.
mean, obviously he had the
Right.
injury
And-
history, but I don't want it to be, oh, just because you're smaller means you're afraid to tackle or that you can't
Oh
tackle.
no,
No, it's not true.
But what I will say is, one, Dante had to grow that reckless abandon to where he
Yes.
got that submarine style of tackling.
Yes,
For
true.
one, and two, as much as people love to diss D-Jack, he made a lot of turnovers playmaking wise
Yeah.
that I think is going to be a little bit hard to replace.
Hey, T Money, I'm curious your opinion, and I don't mean this rhetorical in any way. I'm honestly, genuinely curious. What kind of receivers are you hoping that we have available to us in the second round?
Well,
Well, I would want I would be
Oh,
Oh, the government's stepping in, man.
Yourself.
Conspiracy.
Hey, whoever has their microphone on, fucking going through their bag or some shit, mute your microphone
Yo,
if you're not talking.
Troy Hill's 182. I
Yo.
mean, feed Wiggins a couple cheeseburgers. He good.
Nah, Sauce Gardner is like a stick, and he's the second best cornerback in the whole league.
Is that Illinois, Cody?
Yo, whose microphone is
Is that
man?
Illinois doing that?
No, I don't think it's Illinois. He's been muted.
Somebody's mic is going crazy right now. Holy shit.
I don't know who that was, man. All right, we're good
Yeah.
now.
It might have been T-Money because he started
Nah, it wasn't
responding
me.
and then
It
like
wasn't
stuff
me.
started breaking up.
Nah, it
Oh,
wasn't me.
never mind.
I
Then.
mean,
No, I'm not
T
sure.
Money,
Blame
you
it
hit,
on T-Money. That's
yeah,
how I
you
get
hit the
it.
lag button. The lag switch.
um,
Nah, but
Somebody
got a
as
line
far as,
switch
as
on.
far as the receivers, because somebody just asked me that. I would be cool with taking Xavier Leggett. I would be cool with taking Troy Franklin. I don't know why the late Troy Franklin hate started, but
I mean, if I could give my opinion, like I would be.
yeah, go ahead.
I love Troy Franklin first off, but I mean, I would be looking for that wide receiver to drop or that O line player to drop into the top of the second.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I wouldn't even be mad at defensive line if we decided to go D line.
I mean, I think if Johnny Newton from Illinois drops, he's a beast completely.
See, he
Well,
dropped
that-
in
that-
our mock draft
that-
last week, and I was vouching for him.
Which, by the way, we are going to do another mock draft here in a couple minutes after I play 2 videos for y'all.
That's what I was talking about earlier. If you have a highly rated first round guy drop, it almost doesn't matter the position. You have to take that guy, because right now, I challenge anybody to tell me one position, okay, maybe 2 positions that we are so good we don't need any help.
Exactly. You just need to take the best
Offensive
player.
guard.
You need to take the best player
No,
at
that's
every
false.
single pick. Like we are not we are not coming off a divisional round loss. Like we do not have a roster that just has like 3 holes. Like there's holes everywhere, and it's not just the starters, it's the depth. Like that's the main issue with our team, I think. Like that's why even if you draft Nate Wiggins, you shouldn't just not sign Stephon Gilmore because you feel like you have enough there. Like, dude, you still got to sign him. We still got question marks there. Like, that's why I'm happy that they sort of tried to do a better job with the offensive line. Like, you know, if Icky goes down for a game, it's like I'm okay with that Packers guy. And then, you know, I mean, I still think Brady's a starter, a backup a starter that's going to be a backup pretty much this year. So it's like, I mean,
I prefer to look at Brady as an insurance policy. To me, he's an insurance policy. And I understand what you're saying, Christians, about guard, but I learned last year and I learned the year before that, you can never have too many good guards. And that's my point about Brady Christensen. I think he can play at tackle or guard, and I think they know that. I think he's our, as we used to call it, I don't know that a lot of people call it, he's our 6th offensive lineman, 6th starting offensive lineman. I think that's a good position for him.
I would have thought the tackle we signed from Green Bay would be that guy.
Well, I see. Before free agency actually started, I was calling for us to sign him because I thought he could be that guy. I just didn't think that they would go out and sign 2 starting guards. But they ended up signing the 2 guards and that guy and keeping Brady Christensen. So I'm like, all right, we good now. So, but, you know, we desperately, I think we desperately need a center. I'm going to switch here. If JPJ, Powers Johnson, or I said that wrong, but anyway, JPJ drops to the first, you got to take him, y'all.
You're not scared of the injury concerns?
I think
not really. I mean, I am, but
I think if
everybody in
Chop
this draft
drops,
class has injuries.
that's
Now,
a
I'd be all right
solid
with the guy from West Virginia too. I'd be all right with him too. So
they both have injury concerns. And then there's something else I want to bring up.
Go ahead.
And this is exactly what I'm worried about. Like, I know everyone's fallen in love with these receivers and stuff like that. But here, this is my question. This is my answer to my own question. Are we going to draft an upside receiver or someone that can start from day one? Because I'm in the mindset that I need someone on the field from day one.
At
I'm not
33,
about to
you
do
need
this
somebody
Jonathan
who,
Mingo.
in 39, you would need somebody who's day one.
Anthony, that is the perfect segue question. because I was just about to play this video, and it's been making the rounds on Twitter. This is Xavier Legette, who many people have called that project kind of player. Hold up. This is Xavier Legette talking about how many times he's spoken with the Panthers.
My family, they'll be close. So that'll be the best part about it. And just being able to have them come to the games.
How much dialogue have you had with them? 30 visit, or what all have you kind of done with Carolina specifically?
So I visited with them about 4 times, and I also had a 30 visit with them. They're at the top 30 visit one where I just did it about 2 weeks ago. Good for my family.
So that man has had 4 different visits with the Carolina Panthers, plus he was one of the top 30 visits that the Panthers used one of their top 30 picks on. So, bro, if that doesn't say to you that the Carolina Panthers have interest in Xavier Legette, I don't know what to tell you, man. The question is he going to be available for Carolina at 33? And is he the guy for the job? A lot of people are worried that he's another Jonathan Mingo.
He's
Are y'all
more
worried about
productive in college than Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo
he's not Jonathan Mingo.
Jonathan Mingo was always a weight in C-Guard. They took Jonathan Mingo because of his traits. Jonathan Mingo wasn't never even that productive at Ole Miss. He was always going to be somebody that you like his traits and you hope he can become what his traits are. Xavier Legette at least has some production.
Legette has a high ceiling, in my opinion. Looking at his tape, even though there's just 1 year of it, to me he's the one guy that I would be, kind of excited about if they take a wide receiver in round 2. Like that's the one I'm kind of looking at that I think fits what we need for our offense.
Hey, chill, buddy.
That dog is always attacking.
Man.
I took him off. He's always going to attack my dog. Go ahead.
I think Legette is my honest opinion.
He's not
Legette
making
is
the 101.
a top target by the Panthers. I hope he's there, and it'd be intriguing because I think if he's there, we take him. But I'm curious to see if he's there at 33, but a top guy at a different position falls to you in the draft. What do you do?
Take Xavier Legette.
Okay, but can he start day? Okay, first up, Jonathan Mingo.
Can he start day 1?
Jonathan Mingo, I had him as like a 4th round grade. Like he should have gone in the top 4. He was not that player. If you're telling me, listen, the reason I brought this up is because I've been getting into arguments with these South Carolina fans that post about him 10 times a day. Like, I just want to know some of the reasons that they actually think he's going to be a good receiver, not that he just went to South fucking Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm like,
productive for a year. He's big. He's fast. He's aggressive. Come going to go get the ball. Like, he has a lot of good things.
He's got the size, speed. He's explosive.
He
stands out on film.
Right.
He's big and he can still go 60 on a slant. Like
he's a little raw. He's a little raw at route running, but what's his Cody? What's that? I always get this messed up. How smart is he? You know that statistic you talk about.
Yes, too.
The RAS score. Is that?
Yeah, I guess that's what it's called. The score where they a lot of times they judge how smart a guy is.
Oh, you mean the S2 test with Stroud and shit?
I don't think so. I think the S2 test was.
Oh no, you mean no? What's it called, man?
The
Wonderlic.
The
Wonderlic.
I thought they said they stopped using
I'm just curious. Yes, he's a little raw to me. He's a little raw at route running, but they've had receivers come in the NFL before a little raw route running, and before the by preseason they're the starter. So,
well, you know who else didn't? You know who else didn't have a complete route tree coming out of college?
Calvin Johnson,
DK Metcalf. It didn't matter because he would hit you with them slants across the middle, and with the single high safety, and there wasn't shit that you could do with that combination of speed and athleticism. It was the same thing with Megatron. Like, if you're big, strong, and athletic, I don't necessarily need you to run every route in the route tree.
Right.
You get what
I
I'm
said that
saying?
even
Like,
about Keon Coleman. A lot of people, have they beef with Keon Coleman because it's 40 time, but he looks faster on the field to me.
Hey, if you guys want some, I think Steve Smith just came out with his top 10 wide receiver video on YouTube.
Yeah, he
it's
did.
actually pretty informative of how they speak about. They reference that, Cody. What you just said was that a DK Metcalf, his knock was his route tree, but they don't need him to do that. So you pick the guy that fits your scheme and play to his strengths.
Only thing I'll say about Smitty List, for anybody who watches it, is he did not have Marvin Harrison as a top receiver.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Neighbors, right? Who you have, Neighbors?
But he loved Jonathan Mingo.
I like Neighbors
Yeah,
too.
that's why you don't listen to Steve Smith. Steve Smith's opinion is irrelevant. Listen, I'm sorry,
just
it's
because of
irrelevant.
Mingo?
And if we are basing it off Steve Smith for a second, well, at least he's on the same page with me about Xavier Worthy. He has him as his fifth best receiver there.
Oh,
So
nah.
it's like-
Xavier Worthy, I like Xavier Worthy. It's just the question is who is gonna make it past the Bills and the Chiefs? That is the biggest question because
that's a big fact.
That's the two late first round teams that are probably gonna go receiver.
It is funny because it feels like the Bills and the Chiefs are both looking at all the players that we're looking at.
Exactly.
You know, like they need the same type of receiver, they need the same type of defensive players. But yeah, everybody loves
And with
putting Xavier
Rashid Rice
Worthy
getting in
to
trouble,
the
that
Chiefs.
makes it even more
Oh, for sure. And especially like imagine if you could give Xavier Worthy to Patrick Mahomes. Like that'd be ridiculous, man.
That's damn near like a bigger Tariq all over again.
Yeah.
Or Lad McConkey. I think Lad McConkey would do well with Mahomes.
I don't want Lad here, but that's me. I don't want Lad and I don't want Ricky either.
Yeah, Cole, what's up, buddy?
Very quickly, I want to throw this in there. I love Steve Smith. Steve Smith's probably one of my favorite all-time Panthers. But the next time a staple of our fucking organization endorses a rookie wide receiver, can we make sure that motherfucker can get in the end zone one goddamn time his rookie year, please? Once?
I hear you, brother.
Mingo
I
is
hear you,
trash
man.
until further notice. I don't give a
Alright,
damn
well,
how
I won't
old he
go that
is.
far.
Trash.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Get in the fucking end zone as a second round pick. Stop defending him.
Hey, I gotta say this about the Chiefs real quick. I don't think the Chiefs. I mean, I've been looking at stuff. I don't think the Chiefs are going to take a wide receiver with first round. I think they're going to take a tackle because their tackles last year were awful, and I think that's the biggest hole on the team. Because remember, they signed Marquise Brown too, and Rashid Rice is going to play. I mean, the NFL throws this shit under the rug like it's nothing. He'll probably get suspended.
You really think he's gonna play?
Yeah,
He's gonna
he'll
get suspended.
for like
He's
he'll
gonna
get
get
suspended for like 2 games. I mean, Tom Brady was literally deflating footballs to win an AFC Championship game, and he only got 4.
That's different than.
It's different than almost killing somebody on a highlight.
I do think Rashid Rice is gonna
It
get
doesn't matter. No, the Chiefs are gonna take attack. I guarantee they'll take like Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, or maybe they'll take a wide receiver.
I
But
agree with what Anthony's saying.
If
think
you look
with Marquise
I mean, they
Brown,
could go corner. I mean, because they got
About
to
the
replace
Chiefs.
McDuffie.
yeah, with Marquise Brown there, he basically fills that kind of Xavier. He's not Xavier Worthy, but he fills the need of like
They might want to do both.
I mean, they could go tackle, they could go
if
corner, they
you
could go
look at
wide
the
receiver, but
if you look at the Chiefs starting offensive linemen, they have a gaping hole at left tackle. They really do.
Well, yeah, they didn't bring back Donovan
Smith.
Smith.
Orlando Brown
Yeah,
with Donovan Smith.
it's Wanoa Morris. But if you also look at the wide receiver room, Ray Rice is listed on the depth chart as a slot receiver. So they
Ray
still have
Rice?
Kadarius Coney. They have Sky. They've got depth at
Rice.
they got depth at wide receiver. I'm going to agree with Anthony. I don't think they go wide receiver.
Well,
I really
it's
don't.
also Andy Reid moves them around so much, so I wouldn't even look at the
Right.
depth chart.
Yeah, that don't matter.
Well, I'm just saying. I understand that. I'm just saying that I don't think.
I think the Bills
wide
take one, but I think the Bills. I mean,
the Bills
knows what
almost
they-
have to take one.
yeah, they have to take one.
Well, after you
I
lose
think
the
the
5
Bills take
days,
Keenan Coleman.
Because right
I think the
now,
Bills take
Curtis
Coleman.
Samuel might be the best receiver in Buffalo.
I think the
Damn.
Bills take
Well,
Coleman. I think Coleman matches up with Josh Allen a lot better.
Hey, but I do think that now that Kurt Cole has Josh Allen, I do think you can see the best version of Curtis Samuel now. Like, he always should have been that deep threat
If he stays
receiver
healthy.
that we wanted for Cam Newton, but
If Kurt's
that's
your
when
number one
Cam's
and your
shoulder
number
was
two,
fucked
your
up that whole
offense is
time.
struggling.
Hey, off topic. Has anyone read Joe?
Hey, you broke up, Ant. You have to start over.
Has anyone heard about Joe Person's articles recently? He's been talking about Lad McConkey a bunch. Like, he says.
Yeah, that's
the
his
thing I'm
favorite guy.
getting
I don't want Lad.
That's his favorite guy. He's
Yeah, I
been
was just
mocking.
bringing
He's
that
been
up.
mocking Lad McConkey to us since Christmas.
I don't
Are
want
you
Lad.
Hey,
sure
man,
that's
what's
his
he
favorite
got
guy, or are
against?
you sure that's not what he's hearing?
Money. What you
Oh,
got
I'm
against
just,
Lad, bro?
he may be either one. I mean, I'm just saying.
I just don't
he's
think
been doing
Lad
it
is a
since
guy who
Christmas,
can develop into be your number one.
I mean, he got the speed. He's got the route running ability. Look at what look at what Cooper Kupp does for the Rams from the slot. Like, you don't think Lad
It's
McConkey
also
could be
about.
that type of?
I
don't
just don't.
think
I
Canales
just
is
want. I
on
just
the
want a
level
guy
of
that I
Sean
know that,
McVay as
like,
a play caller.
in a key moment in the game, they can grow into somebody that I can just throw it up and they're gonna go get it.
So
I hear
yeah,
you.
I think Team Money, and I wouldn't disagree with him. Someone who we can forecast and hope could turn into like a Justin Jefferson in time.
But I want a wide receiver who also has got some speed and separation. I mean, I'm done
We
with the
got that with
guys
Deontay.
who are pretty much a tight end playing wide receiver.
Is
They're just not a
is
little
Team
heavier,
Money
a little,
Troy
maybe a smidgen
Franklin?
shorter. What?
I like Troy Franklin.
Yeah, Troy
My
Franklin's
video
all
I just put out a couple days ago, I took
Yeah,
Troy Franklin.
we need speed, man.
Yeah,
We need speed.
Right.
This offense is lacking.
Troy
And
Franklin's a
like Dave
burner,
Canales
man.
talks about, he talks about explosives. Well, it's like, yeah, in Tampa Bay you can run explosive plays because Mike Evans is actually underratedly, like, he's pretty fast. But in terms of this team, we need someone that can take the top off the defense. And that's why everyone was playing towards the line of scrimmage last year. They just knew we didn't have it. And, like, it's like that's got to be a number one issue because you always knew with this.
My only thing about
To me, Lad and Ricky is what you would take if you had a more complete wide receiving core. If we had a complete see, money sound casual. All right. If we had a more complete receiving core and you were looking for a guy,
Yeah,
that then I would be comfortable taking Lad or taking a Ricky. But I don't feel like our receiving core is at that point.
Those are good slot guys. I don't think they're going to take the top off of any defense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I definitely see them as slot guys, and I don't think they're. I think they'd be really good number twos. But I think a Leggett has a potential to be a really good number one, and I see even Troy Franklin. I don't think he'd be a.
And for all the people that was making we have Leggett at home because I guess Jonathan Mingo trying to make
Franklin's a burner, man.
If that's true, then we have Lad at home and his name is Adam Thielen.
Oh, I agree with that.
That's a little bit
I
true.
agree with
Illinois,
that 100%.
Illinois, what were you saying? Go ahead, jump in, man.
I think Troy Franklin's. I like Troy Franklin a lot. I think he's someone that can like Truex, someone that can stretch the defense.
Yeah, that vertical threat that the Panthers have been missing forever. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think a lot of people want to see that big play type of receiver. Again, I've made this comparison last year. I said that what you want to see in the future from Bryce Young looks very similar to Tua Tagovailoa and what they were able to do for him in Miami. And when they were able to add so much speed for him on the exterior, it just opened up a whole nother door for him. So I think that's the blueprint. If you want to really turn this offense up a notch, you need those guys that just have the athleticism that you're born with. That type of, Xavier Worthy speed, AD
Yes.
Mitchell. You have to have that if this offense is going to go to the next level.
Yes, that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying, man, like, that guy can play from, like, that guy's also good at running routes too. Like, he can play from day one.
I think
Yeah, I want somebody who can win, who can win as far as jumping and out jumping somebody and
Malachi
but
Corley
also
is
have
like
the
a
speed
miniature
to take a slant or something.
Malik Neighbors. He's someone's going to get massive yak.
Who, Malachi Corley?
I thought he said neighbors, but I would say we have no
Well,
shot at
neighbors ain't going to be here anyway.
Yeah, ain't no way
So,
we're
ain't no use-
neighbors. We'd have to move.
I'm-
The Bears might have a chance at
5'9",
neighbors.
5'8".
I mean, if
But
we're going to talk about dream
he's one of those
scenario,
guys,
then maybe
man.
Marvin Harris Jr. drops to 33.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm not talking high. I'm not talking like in the second round. This is like in the late third, fourth
Late
round.
I misunderstood who you're talking about, my friend. Who is it?
He's
meant
talking about
Corley.
Malachi.
I think
Yeah,
Malachi
he's
Corley.
talking about
Okay,
Malachi Corley.
Okay.
I think he's just got that knack to make people miss,
Right.
and he's
But
got
if-
that
if-
speed to take it.
So that's what y'all say. That ain't what I've seen Bryce be able to throw deep.
I mean, do you think that's what he's saying right there? That he doesn't throw the.
Yeah, that's
jump
y'all that
ball?
pretend
I mean,
Bryce can only throw 20
Well,
yards.
now
and-
T Money. Here's my worry, okay? And I know a lot of people love Keenan Coleman, and here's my worry: if you draft a guy just to satisfy Bryce, and Bryce ends up not being the quarterback of the future, what do you do with that guy?
You're
Ship
planning
him with
on
Bryce?
something that's at the
Deal with
very
him?
least
Make
we
him a
have
tight end?
Bryce.
I
At the
mean,
very least we have Bryce for at least probably 3 seasons. So that means you're
well,
banking on.
I don't think he's got that long.
You don't know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking for the best overall guy. I don't want to limit your selection. I don't want us to limit our selection at receiver just based on the feel for the current quarterback. Because I'll be real with you. If we get a burner and he goes deep and Bryce can't get him the ball, Bryce ain't the quarterback of the future.
Right, and then
who gets
then
their
at least
feelings
you have that burner on the roster if
Get
Bryce
down.
isn't the guy.
Hey,
But that's
Like, to
why
me,
I've been
it's-
saying. But that's literally
If
what
you're
I've been
starting
saying.
over
like,
at quarterback, you damn near starting over at wide receiving core anyway. So
I don't
No,
agree
but
with
here's the
you.
thing.
I don't agree
I
with you. If
disagree
you
with
drafted,
that.
Here's the
hold
thing.
on. If you drafted an Xavier Worthy or an Xavier Leggett, if you end up moving on with Bryce, those guys are still going to be your pieces of the future. Even Jonathan Mingo. So to me, it's a win-win
yeah, but I'm saying
situation.
those are potential number 1 guys. For me, if you're talking about taking a receiver just because they fit with a quarterback, that would be your Lad McConkey. That would be your Ricky Pearsall. That, you know what I'm saying? Those are more guys that fit with specific type of quarterbacks.
Or you just trade pick 39 for Brandon Ayuk, and he'll be the best receiver for any quarterback that's throwing him the ball.
I
And
doubt
that's what I've
Brandon
been
Ayuk
saying.
can come here. If
Brandon
I was
Ayuk
Brandon
don't be
Ayuk and
feeling
they
like
told me I'd
blocking
get
half the
traded to
time.
Carolina,
That's my beef with
I'd
Brandon
retire.
Ayuk.
But I
Brandon
mean,
Ayuk's
here's the thing, though.
attitude-
He'll be blocking when he's got a 5-year, 125 deal type shit. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. And like y'all brought it up earlier, y'all are worried about cap space. Man, who is on this team that's getting paid besides for like 3 players right now?
I don't. Who brought up cap space? I don't remember talking
Earlier,
about it.
T Money was saying like,
my thing is Brandon Ayuk's
Oh.
attitude. It ain't got to do with on the field.
okay, so like this
And
is
T
just my
Higgins
only.
is his injury history for me.
Okay, so I was just bringing that
I
up
know,
because we're
Cody, I
talking
know.
about receivers, and
Why
we
you
have
saying
this
nothing?
we have this conversation all the time about how like, well, I only like this receiver, and I only like this receiver only fits with Bryce, and it's like, I mean, we can't pick and choose with that. Like, that's why I think like if Dan may, like, you never know, man. He may be on the phone like trying to figure, like, keep all options open. If there's a receiver, if the receivers that are still there that he doesn't like, maybe he calls up the Bengals or something like that and just sees.
I mean, my belief is always just if you're going to take a receiver early, you always take a receiver that can grow and develop to be a number one.
Latu falls into your first, second round pick.
We better go get 2 of them bitches and not just 1. Because Marshall and Mingo is never going to pan out.
No,
I'll tell
I
you
don't
that
even
right
think
now.
Marshall's
Well, I mean,
gonna
I
make the
don't care to get
roster.
2, but you don't need to get 2 right off. I mean,
No, not right off the rip, back to back. No, sir.
This class is so deep. If you get
You
one
could go
early,
second and
you
fifth,
can
though.
get
You
another
can
later,
pick
and
one
that's just
with
fine.
the second round and pick up
I
one
like
in the
whoever
fourth
said
round.
Malachi earlier. I like him, and I like Tez Walker later. I'm telling y'all, they're going to be
I
just
mean,
as
but
good.
I would take somebody in 2 and still take them in a second and still take Corley
I'm cool
later
with that.
on in like the 5th.
Hey,
ain't gonna
yo,
argue with that. I'm
Kev
cool with
come
that.
in here with these funny ass pictures trying to be funny. Do you think he would learn how to make the whole avatar his picture instead of just that little bit? Yeah, he jumped out too. He knew I was about to roast
He's
his
gonna come
ass
back
for
in
that
here correct on you.
tiny little. Yeah, because you better come correct, bro. God damn, trying to slander my Tigers like that. Like I don't run this bitch, bro.
To
Shit.
me, taking Ladd and Ricky is the equivalent of taking the Michigan corner.
Well, you also don't. But here's the thing: you also don't
No,
know
it's
how
way better than
Deontay.
that, man.
Like,
no, I'm
you
just saying, as
assume-
in, they're luxury type picks that you take when your roster is more complete.
Okay,
No,
I
for
hear
sure.
that. I hear it.
For sure. And like, but at the same time, Adam Thielen's probably got only 1 year left. Deontay's on a 1-year deal. Mingo's like whatever, and TMJ's not. He probably. Ain't
So,
gonna
are
make
you
the
taking
roster.
Ladd, saying Ladd can be our number 1 receiver next year?
I'm
or
not
the year after
saying that. No, I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about in terms of
Like
like all the
what's it take
receivers.
to
Like
move up to take him?
no, like I'm saying, you're gonna have to take someone. You're gonna have to make some type of move. Like you're gonna have to do some.
I'm just saying. Before we get to Ladd, I'd rather have one of the Texas boys, Worthy or Mitchell.
Oh,
I'd rather
no
have,
doubt, yeah. And
I'd rather have
thing.
Leggett. I'd rather
I
have
would,
a Keon Coleman. I'd rather
I would
have a
steer
Troy
clear
Franklin.
of Adonai Mitchell.
If AD Mitchell's on the board, I think he trumps every of these receivers that we can possibly.
Anthony, you think that shit's automatic overall player,
Illinois,
everything if he's there?
Yes, he is.
I do too.
I think
Illinois,
he's got.
you said you would steer clear of Mitchell. Why is that?
I don't. I mean, he's special, but he's
let me guess.
I don't think he has to
he's
compete
a little,
in them. He's not a dog at all.
I've noticed when I watch him, there's times when he doesn't try real hard, and I'm gonna kind of hit that on. I've seen that before in the NFL. If a receiver, some receivers get bored in the run game. If they're not getting the ball, they get bored. To me,
That's your problem with
that's
AD
why I
Mitchell.
call
Then
it
you
getting
can't
bored.
you can't trade for Brandon Ayuk.
But hold on, we traded for a guy with these issues already in Deontay Johnson. Like literally, like you're contradicting yourself there. Like he literally last year was awful. He didn't try in the run game. He was throwing his hands up. But the reason these receivers do this is because they've all had bad quarterbacks. Like Quinn Ewers, like if you actually watch the film, that guy missed AD Mitchell and probably like missed out on him having like an extra 300 yards from all the.
I mean, I think Brandon Ayuk's part of it is jealousy of Deebo Samuel.
We gonna have a number 1 receiver.
Because he's
Deontay
better
Johnson.
than Debo.
I think Ayuk.
He is better than Debo.
Hey, hold up. Hey, let me give him the intro. You're welcome to the free for all, the boy white chocolate espresso. He said that he wasn't going to come in tonight because he was clapping cheese. So I'm assuming that boy finished early.
Oh, damn.
Hey, if you ain't first, you're last.
Yes, sir. Get mine. You better get yours.
Yeah, man.
Y'all
It's a
better keep
race.
the linebacker, wide receiver.
Yo, Kev said it's a race, and I won that bitch.
I don't think linebacker necessarily has to be addressed in the draft.
I think Deontay Johnson gonna have a massive year if y'all think Bryce Young's the man.
All right. So some people think
T-Money if Shaq Thompson falls the fuck over. What
Go
you
look
just
at Kenny Pickett and his quarterbacks he's played with. Man, he's only had one good year with Ben Roethlisberger.
No, that's not. And we've had this convo, Kev. I agree.
Kenny Pickett is horrible though. If you watch his
game.
game.
We were not saying that Deontay's going to have a bad year. What we were saying is that like people were saying, I don't know about AD Mitchell and like I don't know about AD Mitchell and Brandon Ayuk when they were like getting frustrated with their situations, but it's like we traded for a receiver like that. Like that doesn't worry me. Like I don't think.
I don't think.
That's what I say. A guy from Illinois said that. What I was trying to say is sometimes, for example, coaching matters. If you get a coach that motivates the players, and maybe a receivers coach that explains things to a receiver to let him know how in a run game you are as valuable as you are catching it. There's certain coaching methods that good coaches follow, and some receiver coaches and offensive coordinators suck. For example,
we've had plenty of them.
The Steelers fired their offensive coordinator,
and their quarterback's just as bad, and that was Deontay Johnson's biggest problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that AD Mitchell's bad. The other day I read crap saying that he's got diabetes and that's why he was bad. That's stupid.
Honestly, I think any
big problem, like I said, is that Deebo Samuels was featured more than him.
Ayuk's problem is there was more talent there than him. I mean, it's just it
You're
goes.
Playing second fiddle to Christian. You're playing second fiddle to Kittle. You're playing second fiddle to Samuels.
And I mean, when you bench Ayuk to put McCaffrey in there,
Also, I don't think any receiver in the second round is going to be more than at best second overall. Like Adam Thielen is going to be second overall. Dante Johnson is going to be receiver 1. So I'm not very high on drafting a second round receiver.
If you take Xavier Leggett, that boy.
Give me a center or a linebacker. You'll start.
Hey, wait, Kev, did you see the video where Leggett said he's had like 4 meetings with the Panthers?
Yeah, I'll be excited if they draft him. Don't get me wrong, but
I disagree with your point though. If you take a Leggett, if you take a Keon Coleman, if you take an Xavier Worthy, if you take an AD Mitchell, if you take a Troy Franklin, my boy Adam Thielen, you're going in that slot.
Yeah, he's a security blanket though. He's been Bryce Young's security blanket.
Y'all are just setting it up for the fact that with our first round pick next year, we'll just be able to draft that guy from Missouri, and we'll be.
Yeah, we can do that.
Bryce Young.
I'd rather have a center or a linebacker right now.
Go ahead. Bryce Young can't spread that ball out. He won't be the starting quarterback week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I think that if Bryce doesn't take a meaningful step forward this year, then I think that they're going to start to move on.
It's going to hurt, man. It's going to hurt for 2 reasons. Because 1, you're either going to have to draft someone, and we're going to have to do this over again, and you can't draft a nice-ass edge rusher or a nice-ass...
We're not doing that next year, though.
That's what I don't think either, but 2...
Only way you're doing that next year is if you have Shedeur Sanders on a plane ready to come to Carolina.
No, I don't want his ass here. Anyway,
that's a terrible take.
2, the other thing is, Dave Canales has always worked with these veterans. I just have this weird feeling in the back of my head. If Dak Prescott becomes a free agent next year, they'll pursue him with a
no way.
Cash.
No way.
I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all.
No,
it's not the worst take ever, though.
Russell Wilson. Dave Canales gonna go get his boy Russell Wilson.
Don't start that shit, Pickle.
Yeah. I'd rather have Russell Wilson than that.
Well, taking it back to that video with Leggett, if so, let's say we have a few picks at wide receiver, and if we think we need one, can we agree that someone who actually wants to play on this team gets a bump up? So as opposed to taking someone who maybe doesn't really have a connection.
Are you talking about long term?
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, Kelvin Benjamin was wearing Panther hat, so I don't know about that.
I'm going to lean towards someone who wants to play for this team, someone who's going to fight for us, not someone who's going to be looking to get out, first contract that they can. So I don't know. That's why.
Exactly. So is Peyton Willis even starting day 1 over Jewel and Shaq? I don't know.
No,
you damn well better. Let me tell you, if the Panthers draft him at 32 or 39. And we don't start him, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, that's the thing is the way you start him, the way you start Wilson is if you're running 3 linebackers out there at the same time.
But they don't run that. They don't run that scheme anymore. Like he's not
exactly. So he's probably
so this
not
is my
going to.
thing. He's not going to because you actually pay Jewel a decent amount of money, and Shaq is still probably going to be better than the rookie coming in. It's
But,
like
but let me
I want to see a rookie.
Shaq's
I
not
want
gonna
to see.
last a month, and y'all
let,
know it.
let,
No,
let
hold
me
on.
ask you like
I
Stop
want to see.
because he broke his leg in training here.
No, hold on.
And
I
he's
want to
old.
see these rookies. If whoever we draft,
Shaq
if
is
it's
like
on the
30.
offense, they better get on the fucking field, man. Because I'm sick of them. Like Mingo last year, he was forced on the field. I want to see guys that are ready to be on the field. Whatever
And
the case.
Mingo
may
wasn't
be.
even. They've played around with his.
Can we
quarantine
please
too.
get a day one starter? Like
That
we've
would
been
help.
begging
Yes.
for this.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
it
And
I
draft
want
the
it's
him to
not
center
that
then.
hard either.
Draft the center.
You
and
draft
about
a center
Wilson.
at 39.
Draft
There
a
you go.
wide
I'll be honest
receiver.
with y'all. Wilson to me is better in coverage than any middle linebacker we got on this roster. Fact
And
is,
I'd rather
he's
have a
better in
linebacker good in
than
coverage and good
any
against the run.
linebacker period on this roster.
I love Shaq Thompson, but he is
I don't know if you
absolutely
ever seen
fucking
Shaq
Give
horrid
me a
at
linebacker's
that.
good in
I've
coverage
seen
over a
Shaq
linebacker
Thompson
good with the
get
run.
his butt whooped by tight ends, receivers, running backs
Fucking
multiple
Clowney
times.
will be better in pass
He
coverage than
was
Thompson.
great in coverage his first 2 to 3 years he was in the league. After that, he ain't. He's not good in coverage. It's not as much as people hype him up to be because he's got a great personality when you meet him.
I think Shaq Thompson week one is gonna be better at covering than Peyton Wilson.
We'll find out, my friend. We'll find out. We will find out. But
I don't know, man.
Peyton Wilson ain't even seen enough NFL schemes and the routes and trees and stuff that they have for running backs.
How do you know that? That is just strictly a bias.
You know, one
opinion.
thing.
You have
One
no
thing I'll
idea
say
what
is I want a linebacker.
you really have no idea.
What?
Kuechly said
He's never
Peyton
been in the
Wilson
NFL.
is ready
Like,
to play in the NFL. I'll believe Luke
His
Kuechly
fucking
over
mentor is
any
Luke
son of a
Kuechly.
bitch on this roster.
Yes, exactly.
platform.
Yes, just like we believe
Luke
Hall of
Kuechly
Fame
wasn't
wide
even going to
receivers.
start when we first got him. Dude,
Hold
people
on.
forget
I
we
know
had
that.
Hold
John
on.
Beasley.
Neither
Hold
was
on.
John Beeson.
Wait, let
Hold
Anthony go. Let Anthony finish his saying, man.
Y'all are arguing over, but listen, here's the bottom line. Y'all ain't understanding, all right? Pickle, we can't say that, and then we can't say the same thing about Steve Smith too. I'm done listening to these fucking Panthers Hall of Famers. I know they're legends. I know
He wasn't wrong.
No, hold on. I don't care if he wasn't if he wasn't like if Luke Kuechly wasn't like speaking facts. I'm just saying like they need to make these evaluations themselves. Because last year, I kid you not, like Jonathan Mingo, if the half the teams in the league reviewed where they had him on the board, he was probably in the pick 60s or 70s. So I'm done listening.
If Mingo goes to Kansas City, he's an all-pro receiver.
Dude, we've had this
Hell
conversation a zillion
Yeah, he
times.
is.
I don't know.
I'll say
Hell
it before and
no.
I'll say it
Whoever
again.
said that,
Hell
come
no.
on, bro.
Go to
Y'all
Kansas
just
City.
watch that
You
video.
can go
Come
back.
on,
You can go back
Jonathan
He had no
Mingo.
system. He had no quarterback.
He
Chaos
broke out
has
of bounds trying to
ensued.
catch the football, bro. What are you
He
talking
had no
about?
quarterback, no receiver. He had
He
no
was
offensive
playing
coordinator.
ballerina
Trying to
out there,
catch the
bro.
football. Do you not understand that?
Did
Do you not
somebody have an
understand he had no
gavel?
quarterback?
Did somebody
Do you
have a
understand he
gavel?
had no
Warming up
offensive
Oh,
coordinator
and out of
or head
bounds trying to
coach
make a
or any
catch, bro.
system
Like
whatsoever
no
or
all pro
I
teaching?
ever do
always
that.
No
said the
coaching?
same thing.
No coaching? No
I
Yeah,
coaching?
but he's got to get into the
One
end zone
time,
more than 20
what are
times,
we
man. I've
even
already
talking
started
about
yelling
here,
at
boys?
straight
yelling at
up.
Mingo.
He
Like,
said
that's
Jonathan
just
Mingo's
bullshit.
an all pro.
Jonathan
What
Mingo
the
did not
hell?
Kansas
even
City?
play
O-line
one
and
fucking
D-line.
time
I
last
mean,
year.
Trade up
that
for
That's
also,
better than
that
the
all,
Does
but
it need to be
yeah.
said again?
Put
You
Mingo
second
with the
round pick
Bills
wide
and see what he
receiver.
does.
Even if Mingo was better, Kev, that disregards how bad and how lazy Mingo ran his routes last year.
Put him with the
Terrible route
Bills and see
runner.
what he
He
does.
wouldn't have been an all
Yeah,
pro, but
but
would he have
Put him
been?
with
He
the
not
Bills
gonna
and
do
see what he
shit with the
does.
Bills.
Put
He
him with
not
the
gonna
Kansas
do
City.
shit.
All
He
right,
not
all
gonna
Put him
run
with
to the
them.
football field with the
He have
Bills.
1,000 yards.
He
He
wouldn't
Go
be
would
on
have
the
had
D-line.
fucking
1,000 yards.
football field for
That's
those
what the
No,
picks.
Wars
I love you,
won.
dude.
Put
He
him
wouldn't
on
be on the
Kansas City. He
fucking
have 1,000
football field
yards.
for
Yo,
those
I
picks,
would
bro. What are you
I would
talking
rather
about?
have
The chaos.
Spencer. Hold on. Hold on.
Trade him. Trade
I
him.
would
See what
rather
happens.
I would rather have
I
Spencer
vote for
James
that.
He
out
gonna
of
be
high
like
I
school
vote
he
on
for
gonna
that.
be like
hold on.
Calvin Benjamin
Did you
and
say
fall off.
Spencer James? You
I'd rather have Spencer James out of high school
And
an All-American
man,
than Jonathan
I'm watching that
fucking
shit right now.
Mingo.
23
I don't even know who
for
Spencer
Brian
James
Give
is.
me
This off
Spencer
a show.
Rattler
It's on
over
Show All
Netflix.
Bryce.
American.
I'm a bus
Oh
young.
shit,
From the show All
Anthony.
American.
You
But
wild for
nah,
that.
would he
It's
have been an an all-pro? No. Would he have been more productive? Yes.
Hell yeah, you have 1,000 yards to get with Patrick Mahomes.
I shouldn't hold our second round wide receiver.
Who's Kansas City receiver?
You know, they don't have to get into the end zone one
Well,
time.
I hear what you're saying, Cole.
Who's Kansas City's receivers? Man, Mingo would have killed
Travis
it.
Kelsey didn't even have 1,000 yards.
I don't know. I know.
Travis Chelsea's old.
Kelsey got in the end zone.
Like Kevin, you have to keep the same energy for Bryce.
And
than you do
Mingo
for
is
Mingo,
garbage.
bruh.
Here's what I will say.
He has a garbage quarterback and a garbage offensive coordinator and a garbage head coach.
He did.
All right, hold on. Wait.
He was surrounded by garbage.
Wait, time out.
Build
Kevin,
the line.
you can't say that Bryce was garbage in his first year, but then say that Jonathan Mingo wasn't garbage.
They're all
in his
garbage.
first year? Yeah, but
They're
okay,
all
they were all
garbage.
Okay, so how
If he went
do
to a
you-
better
here's
place,
what
a
I
better
will say.
quarterback, and
If
better
he was-
system,
If he was garbage, then how is it going to be better?
because he has Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
That's true. He wouldn't have been all pro.
I mean,
all
look,
pro
if y'all want to
all
believe
pro
that,
is
that's
And they
fine,
would
but
hold
we're not
on,
about to get Patrick Mahomes.
That's a
He'd be
terrible
toting the
point.
clipboard.
They would be smart enough to bench his ass like
Yeah,
they
he'd be on a
did
clipboard
Tony.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wouldn't have
exactly, bro. He would not be on the football.
Here's what I always said about
He would have 1,000 yards.
I agree.
Sixth or seventh wide receiver, he might be
He
lucky
would
to
not
make a damn
have
fucking
you
roster.
capping with that one.
Yeah, I agree. He
had the
might
hat
not
on
even.
backwards.
Thank
I
you,
agree with
Pickle.
Pickle. He might not even be a starter on that team.
Exactly. Like he wouldn't
Look at
even make
look
the
at Kansas
roster.
City's receivers.
You look at him. I just did.
They're horrible.
Yeah, it's not like
They're all-
Jonathan
they're all
Mingo is a
better.
name
I'm
that's
sorry,
better.
no, Justin
He would
Watson.
start. He would start on
I'm
that
taking
team.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling over fucking Jonathan.
You're
Mingo.
you're out of your mind,
Rasheed-
Anthony.
Rasheed
You're
Rice is
emotional.
better than Jonathan
You're
Mingo.
emotional.
Well, hold on. Rasheed Rice isn't better than Mingo.
Brown.
Here's what I will say to
Chaos.
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 It's all your fault, Mingo.
Look what you've done,
Probably
Kevin.
better than Jonathan Mingo.
Nah.
I gotta-
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. Here's what
I gotta go back to clapping cheeks, bro. I'll see y'all later.
What the hell you not?
Kevin.
You would have been clapping him if you had
I thought that
the
was someone else. I didn't realize that was Kevin.
Start King. He just wanted to come in here to start.
Man, he
chaos.
knows how to stir the pot better than I
Yeah,
do.
Kevin came in here just to start shit.
Hold on.
and
Here's what
jump
I will
right
say.
out.
Is the guys that we at receiver that we are trying to write off already, would they be more productive somewhere else? I definitely think so. Whether it's Mingo and whether I still think if we traded Terrence Marshall Jr., we would look back with some regret because I think he could be productive somewhere else.
Okay, T-Money,
All
but
right, if you
1,000
compare
yards.
to the
Hold on,
last-
1,000 yards is insane. Though.
No. I say he overshot it. Pro Bowl and 1,000 yards, you're overshooting. But
Like I think 700 yards is more realistic.
got-
than
he just
exactly.
come here and piss everybody
500
off there, but
500 to 800 yards, Jonathan
knows
Mingo
what he
could have
did.
did that with the Chiefs.
He's laughing on Twitter about it right now.
Jonathan Mingo could do that with the Chiefs. He could have been a 500 to 800 yard receiver.
Well, he better learn how to
I
run some
agree
routes
with that,
before
but-
he do that first.
You know, let's be real. Let's cut the
But
bullshit, though. The
Mingo
problem,
was
the problem
always-
last year was not the players as much as it was the incompetent, dumbass general manager who
Oh, that's
didn't
true.
know what to do when his three guys he had on his on his draft board wasn't there. And then you top all that off, and you had Mr. Dumbass, Dumb Dick, and Stupid Shit playing coach, offensive coordinator, and wide receiver.
Nah, the general manager parts are
I'll go to
wrong
my
about
guy.
those.
Ain't none of them sons of bitches was smart.
Nah, but the
None of
general
them
manager
were.
part,
Yeah,
that
I know
wasn't
I'm right.
that
I
wasn't
know
why.
I'm right.
Okay, that wasn't why we took
Ain't
Jonathan.
nobody telling John. And let me tell you what.
That's
I've
not why
watched
we
the
took Jonathan
Panthers-
Mingo though.
I've watched the Panthers since since 1993, and I guarantee
They
you,
wasn't even playing, but that sounds good.
the announcement was made, and that's when I became a fan.
Oh, he was watching it then.
Now,
I wasn't watching them play in '93.
Scott Fitterer is the worst general manager this team has ever
You
had.
can,
Hard
and that
done.
may be true, but to act like he didn't have a plan to take Jonathan Mingo, if you talk
Well,
to Jonathan,
he didn't.
that's
He
cap.
didn't. In my
That's cap.
opinion, he didn't.
Cody,
He looked. And
I'm
I'll
telling you,
tell
I know
what,
for a
I told this
fact.
the other day. There were probably 4 or 5 people he had on his list he wanted. When he realized none of them were there,
That's
he didn't
cap.
know what to do.
Wait, who are we talking
That's
about?
cap.
Wait, who are we? Wait, who are we talking about? Who are we
Jonathan
talking about?
Mingo, Cody.
He-
The same way,
he's doing that.
the same way
Cody,
we
so-
just watched. Hold on, because I don't like cap. The same way we just watched Xavier Leggett talk about how he had a meeting with the Panthers 3-4 times, and that's Jonathan Mingo did the same thing. We met with Jonathan Mingo a lot. It was always their plan was to take either Jonathan Mingo or Tank Dell, and I said that last year.
Fuck, dude, that was the plan. What the fuck is Scott
I don't think they.
Here's a comparison that I made then, and I'm making now.
No way.
Can I finish?
Then I don't want Xavier Legette this year. I want whoever the second guy they have is.
Let me finish, and then y'all got it. The difference was Tank Dell is proven production. Tank Dell was proven production at Houston. You already knew that he was probably going to be instantly more productive in the league because Tank Dell is one of them guys that just gets open. Jonathan Mingo they took based off of his skill set, thinking that he could develop to be a number one guy because Jonathan Mingo is like 6'3", 215 and runs a fast 40. But if you watch Jonathan Mingo at Ole Miss, and which I did, full games, he was never that productive at Ole Miss. You took Jonathan Mingo thinking that one day he can develop into A.J. Brown light. And that's why they went with Jonathan Mingo over Tank Dell.
Tank Dell was
a development
last year.
But to say that we had no plan to take Jonathan Mingo is just a flat out lie. We met with Jonathan Mingo multiple times. But to say that we had no plan and we just took Jonathan Mingo because nobody else was there is a lie.
Well, but hold on. Let me, but Pickle. So I believe what Pickle was alluding to, and I remember this. There were rumors on Twitter that at the end of that draft, the Panthers were contemplating moving back into the first round for an edge
Jackson
rusher.
Smith-Njigba.
What was the defensive end that went to New York?
No, it was Nolan Smith
Johnson
from the Eagles. That's who.
Or Will McDonald.
No, last year didn't the Jets take a defensive end?
Yeah, Will McDonald.
Yeah, Will McDonald. Hold on. There were rumors that the Panthers wanted to go back up for Will McDonald. Then when the Jets took him, I think that's what scrapped their picks.
No,
I believe that might be what Pickle was talking about.
We did meet with Jonathan Mingo multiple times before the draft.
Y'all are missing this out, though. There was also, we wanted Jackson Smith-Njigba. Will Kunkel tweeted that out after he got picked. That's also what screwed it up. He tweeted out the receiver the Panthers had close to their vest at that time was Jackson Smith-Njigba. But since Scott Fitter's a dumbass and he doesn't know how to talent evaluate, he thought his ass was going to fall to like pick 39. Because he didn't know.
Why would anyone think that Jackson Smith-Njigba would be available?
Seattle was going to take Jackson Smith-Njigba because they already had DK Metcalf and
No, but the point is that Scott Fitter is stupid and Pickle's right in the mindset that after those guys went, he had no plan. He just panicked.
Jonathan Mingo was somebody that they liked.
No, I get that, but you could have gotten him later. That's what I'm trying to say here. You could have gotten him later. He panicked. That's all he does as a GM.
I listened to
Jonathan Mingo shot up the board once he ran because he was 6'3", 215, and he ran like Jonathan Mingo ran what?
All right, let me let Pickle go. But also, this was true too. But Sideshow said that we wanted Bergeron too. He was the guard that went one pick ahead to Atlanta, and that is true. I remember that being reported too. There was a guard they wanted, the one from Atlanta, and then one of the defensive end, Will McDonald, the one that went to the Jets.
In their draft thing,
Dedrick Hall, who went to the Seahawks at pick 37, the Panthers were also very high on him. Okay, listen, Bill Polian, I can't remember the other guy's name, but Bill Polian, there's two GMs I listened to on the NFL XM radio this week. Okay, they normally don't get on at the same time, but situations happen and they were. They talked about a lot of the current GMs in the league, and they mentioned Scott Fitter. They said they didn't call him out like that, but they said a lot of your younger general managers, they get so high on a selected amount of people that when it's actual, and if they're not drafting high and those people are gone, they get stumped and they look across the room at the people with them and the most dominating voice in that room, if he utters a word, they get it. He said they're seeing it all across the league. They're seeing it to a lot of your younger general managers. That's why a lot of your positional coaches aren't not in the draft room. They're just not. That's the reason why they're not.
What I'm saying is John Domingo.
And I understand. And I don't think John Domingo was that high on their board. I think he was on their board. Yes, he was on their board, but it was like 1 to 10.
And even when the offense was looking good in training camp, remember everybody was hype on John Domingo before the season.
Yeah, I think everyone's being a little hard on Mingo,
That's
man.
because it was training camp.
How's that being too hard on him if he does not get into the fucking end zone one time?
Well, dude, you had shitty coaching, you had a shitty scheme, you had a shitty
he didn't have that many
offensive
touchdowns through the pass.
You had a shitty quarterback.
A damn blind squirrel can get a nut once a damn season. This bitch didn't get one.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair, Bryce Young.
Hey, hang on. Let me jump in. I gotta jump in here. I gotta move some. Hold on. I gotta move some things along.
That's true, JJ. I heard that.
Yeah, his one.
Hold on. See what y'all gotta make. I dropped a rock on y'all
Of course,
hoes.
Cody want to do that shit as soon as I start talking, man.
I dropped a rock on y'all hoes. What's up? One, C3 Kyle. Welcome to the Free For All, brother. Hey, how you
What's
liking, man?
up?
We didn't even start the mock draft yet, brother.
Oh yeah, dude, I was so excited. I hit you all in the chat, and I was like, man, I'm clocking out, man. Hang on. Keep
Bro, I
talking.
got you, man. Bro, I got you, man. Hey, I knew you was coming, so I waited for you. But
Hell
before
yeah.
we
think
do,
everybody was arguing.
yeah,
Dude, I
right.
love
They
it.
gave you a little bit extra
Trying to
time.
argue some more. I'm ready.
Hey, but hold on, time out, y'all. Before we do this mock draft, and by the way, this will be the final C3 Friday Free For All mock draft before our actual draft goes live. But bro, will y'all believe that Pickle just sent me this 30 minutes ago? And yeah, we about to play it right here, like
Is it
it's some
breaking
breaking
news?
damn news, right on the Friday
Yeah,
Free
it's
For All,
breaking
baby.
news. Y'all need to look at it.
Oh, we all need
God.
to look at it.
Oh fuck!
Ha ha
We know it's a dude on the team.
I now introduce to you your one and only true king.
Oh, this is fun. No, I ain't playing the music. I ain't gonna take it off of YouTube. But we got brand new Top Cats. And yeah, I mean, this is breaking news right here. You know, we really break news around here on the Free For All, you know.
Oh, this is gonna cause an off-air conversation, but okay.
Oh yeah,
That's
gonna be a
lay it out. I want to
whole
see the
space
list. I
afterwards.
want to see everybody that's in here first.
No, this is the best draft being made by Tepper Sports and Entertainment.
Would you fucking shut up? I'm watching.
Oh, never mind.
There he is, Justin. That's our favorite.
Okay.
And then there's a straight up guy on there this year too.
I see you, Savannah.
I haven't seen him on this video. I mean,
You weren't looking hard, Pickle.
maybe I
When
wasn't.
does Nicole? So when,
There we
I'm
go.
only looking at one thing, y'all.
when's the part where Nicole comes out of the woods?
You're
and she
ruining
joins
this for
the
me,
podcast?
Anthony.
Yeah, she's gonna come in there doing cartwheels, Anthony.
That's the Peyton we need.
Yeah.
Forget the
Hey,
Yo, the comments are wild, bro.
Oh, right there it is. Right there he is.
Oh, there
Oh,
he is.
that's not a
There he
dude?
is.
Like what?
There he is. There he is. I didn't watch this whole thing earlier. I said it to Cody before I watched the whole
What?
thing.
How many damn Top Cats do we need, bro?
damn, Samantha though.
You can never have too many, Cody.
Samantha.
I mean,
might.
I guess you're right about that, man. Oh, hey,
Tyrese is a
Tricia.
straight up dude, and Justine.
At least we got something to look forward
Yeah.
to
Damn, bro,
next
come
year.
get some pickle.
She had that
Pickle,
shoulder.
I know
movement.
your
Yo,
favorite.
Pickle, shut the hell up.
She had good
Gosh,
shoulder
no,
movement on
just
that.
Yeah,
I got some.
dumbass.
I got some vanilla ice cream for you.
Oh, shut the hell up, Pickle. Nobody wants to hear your dumbass talking shit.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm doing
Tyrese
that.
is a straight up dude. Justine is the
All right, so there y'all have it, man.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I want to say
Panthers
something, but I'm
news.
not gonna say it.
Justine
anyways,
is what?
go on.
Hell no, don't do it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Say
But
it.
Oh, Anthony said
Justine is
Justine
the
his
one
favorite.
that
That's what he said.
identifies now as
That's
a
what the
Yeah,
chat's
we
for,
were
bro.
supposed
Oh,
to get new
okay.
helmets, but we got new top cats instead. That was-
Bro, y'all are dumb as shit.
Almost got new Top Cats, Pickle.
All right, man. Are y'all ready to do this damn mock draft? It's
Yes,
the final
sir.
one, boys.
I
So
got
look,
one condition. We can't take it too seriously.
Oh, I thought you were
Y'all
going to say
said-
the
we
Bucs
wanted to
draft.
throw
Hey, Cody,
throws
Lapp,
over
whatever
the
you do,
top.
do not draft Peyton
take the
Wilson. Let's
fun
not
out
do
of
it.
it.
Let's
Is
not do
Don't
it.
this,
draft
is this
Peyton
the
Wilson.
what we think the
Damn.
Panthers will do, or what
No,
we
we're
want
going
them
to
to
do
we
what
would
they
do.
should do. What they should do. Because
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
measure-
but hey, good luck, y'all coming to
Let's go
consensus. though.
defense.
Hey, but look, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to go longer than like 5 or 10 minutes per
Damn,
pick.
geez, I didn't
So
know
get
that.
to the point. Tell me who you
busted.
like. Let's look who's available, and then let's try and get these picks in. All right.
Yeah.
So
off the
Can
rip,
I
I'm gonna
add
tell
this
you
in real
when we
quick?
get to 33, scroll up and look and see who took a quarterback and who didn't.
yeah, we will. We're gonna look at everything.
Argument
I want to add this
starting in
real quick, Cody.
10 seconds.
According to Diesel Skills, he just put it on the Elite Chat and Twitter. Said top cast are the second highest paid in the league at $75,000 per year.
Damn, we're so progressive out here, man. We're paying our top cats. Go girls. All right. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Pick
Shout
one will
out to
send you out
Steve,
there to
man.
dance.
But
One of them needs a boyfriend.
where are the men paid
Yeah,
higher than the women?
Justine,
Though?
you're gonna be her new boyfriend, people.
Now, Christensen and our top cast, that don't matter.
All
Hey.
right, y'all dumb as hell. All right, we're going on with this draft. Carolina Panthers, 7 rounds. I'm doing a normal draft, and let's get it.
Number one
Caleb
pick
Williams,
of the
Jaden
2024
Daniels, Drake
draft,
May,
Bears
Marvin
select
Harrison,
Caleb
Malik
Williams.
Neighbors, Fashanu, Joe Hall, Dallas
this is
Turner,
shaping
Jared
up.
Verse, JJ McCarthy, Roma Dunze,
To the
Latu
Jets,
Latu,
though?
Terry Arnold,
Bullshit.
Elise
That's a
Fernaga, Brock
great pick
Bowers,
by the
Amari,
Jets.
JC
They
Latham,
JC
draft-
Quentin Mitchell,
Latham, what?
And they got
Brian
him a real
Thomas,
quarterback
Troy
that way.
Fontana, Chop Robinson,
I'll win
Ned
first round
Wiggins,
and Nate
Bo Nix,
and Bo.
Graham Burton, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Brian Murphy, Jackson Powers Johnson, Keon Coleman, Xavier Worthy,
Coleman went to
Christian
the
Haynes,
Buffalo. See, I told
Kingsley,
you Coleman going to Buffalo.
Tyler. All right, now look, Cincinnati
Johnny
wants
Newton's
to
there
move
again.
from 49.
Hey,
They
we
want
get
In
a
real
really
life,
good
I would
quarterback
take
last
that.
year. Yeah, in real life, I'd take that. I would.
All
In real
fucking
life, I would
day.
take it. No, I don't know. What's the next
No,
one?
no, no,
I
no,
need
no,
to
no,
see
no,
the next
no,
one.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
they ain't got
no,
but one
no.
off.
There
We
ain't no
only have
next one.
one.
That's the only one.
We only have one.
in
No,
this
no, no. We
mock-
can make our
no.
own.
We could what?
Can't we make our own trade?
Well, you get counted.
Yeah, if you wanted to, but
Yeah.
it's not. They're not guaranteed to take it though.
Yeah, I know. But we're gonna go see who didn't take a quarterback, so somebody can take Michael Penix.
No, we're taking a
Real,
Donnie
real
Mitchell
quick
right
before.
now.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
Donnie
No, no,
Mitchell's
no,
still
never
there.
mind, never mind.
Let's
Donnie
take a
Mitchell
Donnie
right there.
Mitchell.
Hey,
Donnie
so
Mitchell right there.
who was the Vikings' first pick? I was just curious.
Well,
See, Chiefs
second one was
took
at
the
least Bo
tackle,
Nix.
man. Chiefs took the tackle. I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do.
They took Bo Nix.
No, that was their second first round pick. Who was their
Yeah,
their
they
first
took
one?
offensive tackle.
So we have what could amount to be the best, one of the best interior defensive linemen, and what could be one of the best outside cornerbacks.
Oh, okay, Roma Dunze
just fell to us.
Cool.
And we're still gonna take a Donnie Mitchell.
Yeah, we're still taking him. I'm sorry.
Right
that
now,
dude-
the options are so these are just the best players available. John and Newton, the defensive tackle, Cooper DeJean, Donnie Mitchell, Jordan Morgan. Let's look at what wide receivers are available right now, so that way we know what's waiting for us later on. So Xavier Legette is still available. Ladd McConkey is still available.
I don't think
Troy
Xavier
Franklin's
Legette
still
is
available.
We should go with Troy Franklin.
Donnie or Leggett.
I think you're probably gonna get damn near unanimous with Adani right here.
I think we should draft center.
Boy, you can get a center at 39.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, I'd go with Donnie.
My
right
vote.
here.
My vote would be Troy Franklin.
Who's best?
My
player?
vote's
going
Newton.
AD.
Best
Jalen-
player available.
We
Who's
should
best?
draft. We should draft Jalen Wright.
So okay.
Oh,
Yeah, all right,
who-
It's a Donnie
if we're playing
or
the
Xavier
board-
Leggett.
All right, listen up. If we're playing the board, Zach Frazier at 42 might be available. We don't know. Now, what would you rather do, man? So we have options of going to Donnie Mitchell or Ladd McConkey now and trying to get that center later.
Sounds good.
What are
You
y'all
go
feeling,
with
man? What are y'all
Donnie.
feeling?
You go with Donnie right
Go with
now.
Donnie Mitchell and then try to get
Donnie
center at
Mitchell.
the 39 overall pick.
And shit,
All right.
if TJ Tampa there, you take TJ Tampa and then wait on center.
All right, hey, I'm gonna go in a row. As soon as you hear your name, tell me what player you're drafting. Pickle,
Donnie Mitchell.
Kyle,
I'm gonna go Johnny Newton.
John. Okay, JJ.
Can he play nose tackle?
Troy Franklin.
Yes.
If he can't, then
Yeah, so we got 3 different ones all together. Cole.
Mitchell.
All right, we got 2 for Mitchell. Evan.
I would go Newton, but I'm gonna go Mitchell.
All right, 3 for Mitchell. Christian Hunt.
I don't like AD Mitchell, man. I'm gonna go ahead and take the center here,
give us
or Johnny Newton. But I'm not so sure about Newton playing.
All right,
in the
2 for
nose.
Newton. Ant, what say you?
I don't think he plays.
I
I'm
don't think
taking
Newton plays nose tackle.
I'm taking Spencer James from Beverly. No, I'm just tripping. I'm taking Donnie Mitchell.
All right, I think that's it. That's the number of votes.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Exactly, yeah, Donnie.
Good pick, boys.
All right, with number 33, Adonai Mitchell, you are a Carolina Panther, baby. Let's go. Troy Franklin, Cooper Beebe, TJ Tampa, Johnny Newton, Ladd McConkey. Oh, shit. Okay, Cleveland.
54 too far down.
No.
Yeah, that's too far down. Y'all want to reject that?
Yeah.
And Denver wants us to go
Yeah,
to 52, and they
that
want to
for
give
me.
us 56. I say let's just take our center right here, huh? Or well, let's
get a Zach Frazier.
Get the board.
All right, reject these assholes. Reject. All right, hold up.
I say you
Let's
either
do-
take Zach Frazier or you take Darius Robinson.
All right, let's see who's on the board for
No.
a bunch of different positions that we might need on defense, right? So, cornerback, Ennis, Rexstraw,
Cooper DeJean's available, but they got him listed as a safety.
Kamari Lassiter. All right, edge. Now,
Darius
Darius
is the
Robinson.
only one you think about.
Darius
Darius?
Robinson is still
Yeah,
available.
Now, click on linebacker now. Don't skip that.
All right,
Let's
Peyton
go Edmund
Wilson.
Cooper.
No, Peyton Wilson theoretically
Edge and Cooper
could be there.
I think Edge and Cooper's a little better than Peyton Wilson. Though.
We also
I
had
do
Cedric
too.
Wilson on a visit.
Like, I'm not even trying to be biased, but I mean, Edgerrin Cooper was literally like that dude is fast as shit. Like he's got a
We
lot.
literally had all three of those
both.
linebackers.
We've had Edgerrin Cooper and Peyton Wilson both on visits.
And Cedric Gray.
And Cedric Gray. I
Well,
like all
just did all
three.
that over the center.
Huh?
They just did all that to take Zach Frazier.
I mean, we're looking at all the options. Like,
No,
that-
I'm just saying.
I'm saying, like, what
everybody,
options?
half of everybody just wanted to take Zach Frazier at 33. Now it's 39, and he's still there. And now it's a debate.
I'm just looking at what defensive players are available. Not saying that we will. So Zach Frazier is available, but also Cedric Van Pran could be available with your next pick too.
Mm-hmm.
So would you prefer to take a linebacker now and hope that one of these centers falls?
I would take Cedric. If you want to take a linebacker now, you will be able to get the Georgia center by pick 65. So
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm
All right,
sure.
we're gonna vote. Pickle, what's your vote?
Edgerrin Cooper.
Edgerrin Cooper. Kyle, what's your vote?
What's the best player available?
BPA
Cooper DeJean
is Cooper DeJean, the corner out of Iowa.
I would go Zach
He wouldn't be a
Frazier.
bad pick either.
No, he's good. I mean,
Right, he's
just kinda-
good.
Bad pick.
The
Yeah,
issue,
All right,
can I just bring
Frazier.
this up?
Kyle,
I'm
you
not
said
trying to-
Frazier. Pickle,
Yeah.
you said Edgerrin, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Cody,
so one
can
for
I bring
Frazier,
this
one
up
for
real quick?
Edgerrin. JJ, what say you?
I wanted Zach Frazier.
All right, two for Zach Frazier. Ant, go ahead.
No, yeah. I'll take Edgerrin Cooper. I just wanted to bring this up for 10 seconds. Cooper DeJean, like, he could be a guy, if he falls to us, like, I'd take him. He's just another guy where it's like, he's like Jeremy Chin. Like, you got to really figure out what to do with him from day one, or he's going to have that type of career. That's
And
all
we just showed we can't do it.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, the previous coaching staff couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Vario is still there.
Well, yeah, but that was his third defensive coordinator since
So
he's
we're getting a lot of Coopers in the chat. People saying that we
Zach
need to go
Frazier,
get Cooper
man.
DeJean.
Hell
And
no.
that would be a big need off the board for us.
You
It
mean
depends,
Cooper
man.
or Edgerrin Cooper?
Huh?
I think it's Edgerrin.
Well, they
Edgerrin, like Edgerrin.
wait.
Yeah.
Wait, they're either
What's the
they're
count
talking about
right now
either
for
one of
this
those
pick?
guys because there's two
What's the
different
count right now for
Coopers
what?
that they could be referencing.
This pick, who voted
Yeah,
and
yeah,
who
be
broke?
specific. You want the
This is
linebacker
pick
or you want
60 no, this is pick 39.
No, I'm talking about
secondary
between
guy?
us.
Yeah.
How many
see,
votes
that's
do you have
what
for
you gotta
Julio?
do.
Oh, I have 2
There you go.
for
There you go, Chad. Now speak
I
up.
got 2 for Edrin and I got 2 for Zach Frazier.
I'm a Zach Frazier person.
All right, 3 for Zach Frazier.
Put me with him. I want Frazier.
All right, that's 4 for Frazier. Christian.
I'm gonna go Frazier and hope Peyton Wilson falls to third round.
Frazier.
Yeah,
all right.
go ahead.
Ant, did you say Frazier?
I'm good.
I'm all right with Cedric.
No, I said Edrin Cooper. I said.
Oh, you said Cooper. Okay. Who else I got in here? Evan, did you vote?
I have not. This is definitely a hard one, but I'm probably gonna have to go Zach Frazier too.
All right. Team Money, I'm assuming you're voting in Frazier.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's
the
enough.
question is, do you trust Austin Corbett at center? Who's
Absolutely
never
no,
played
sir.
center in the NFL?
Absolutely
I do not.
Or do you trust? Or do you trust Josie Jewell and Shaq Thompson to be able to play?
Damn, I'm gonna be real.
Neither
I would
one.
almost prefer
Neither one.
Austin Corbett at center and get
He's
a
never
new
played
young
center in the NFL,
linebacker.
Cody.
But I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like,
I'm just saying, our
You gotta
general
get the center for
manager,
Bryce.
our general manager is a
I hear you.
former middle linebacker, and he knows the importance of a
He
middle
is.
linebacker.
Who
But
cares?
We made
but
that
I
bet for
do.
Bryce.
I just said it. That's why I care.
but
love
remember, this is
linebackers.
the Friday free for all mock draft. We're not necessarily doing what the Panthers are saying they're gonna do. This
I
is what
just
we do.
voiced my
So
opinion.
This
I hear you.
logic, Pickle's logic is crazy. He just said take Zach Frazier at 33. Zach
did not
Frazier's
say-
still
I
there
did
at
not say that.
39. Now it's take somebody else.
I mean, they really are.
You
Like,
know
my,
what?
my thing is,
I was
there's
about to
only
say,
2
yes,
options.
you did. You
So
did
Zach
say
Frazier
Zach
was
Frazier
good enough to
at
take that
33.
All right, the
33.
reason why I said that is because the last mock draft last week, Cody refused to take a center because he said that's all we ever take a center. I only said that to aggravate Cody. If y'all pay attention,
Oh, by the way, we
Oh,
always we took a Zach Frazier number 1 2 weeks ago, but we still took a center even
All right,
last
if
week.
I'm
too.
being honest with y'all, if I'm being honest with y'all right now, remember what Stratz said weeks ago about how these centers are always drafted later? Like, there's so many great centers that come out of the draft that were drafted in like the 4th, 5th, 6th. I think this Van Pran guy is not that far off from the top 2 guys. So I'm
I
not
do
that
agree to that.
I'm
I
not
do
that
agree to that.
Well, then I'm still not taking Edrin Cooper. Then I'm doubling up at receiver and going to Xavier Leggett.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, if that means you want to.
You just like Shaq so damn much, you don't want to see what's right in front of you.
Hey, Chief, surprisingly, I'll go
No,
on that train with you. I'll
but
take
I
a look
think
at
that-
right there.
Hey, I think the consensus here is that we all, well, at least what I think is, I think there's a lot of guys that have higher potential on this board than some of these centers. Like, I think these centers are good. I'm just saying, I think there's not that much fall off between all of them.
All
Like,
I'm
they're all
saying
relative.
is I'm just not sure about trusting a
Hey.
guy who just got hurt with a season-ending injury and has never played the position in the NFL at all and say, yeah, go be my starter, and I'm confident in that.
I
They
hear
know
you.
they're not about to do that. They're not about to do that shit.
Well, yeah, he's talking about Austin Corbett playing
Exactly.
center.
So we should go ahead and take
They know
Zach
they ain't about to
Frazier.
do that shit. They just want to
Whoa.
sound
I
cute
mean,
and hide what we're
I
going to
think
do.
All right, let me say, hold on. Let me lay out the options.
If we're just throwing people at center that's never played center in the NFL before,
I just have a quick thought.
let me and Cody and Pickle and everybody else in here try out.
So based on the draft board right now, I would say Van Pran has a higher chance of being there in the 3rd round than someone else like a Peyton Wilson. So Anthony, you're kind of changing my mind here. Like, so if you don't take a center here, who do you go with?
I said if you want, so hold up, or the best player. So for me, it's between 3 guys right now. All right, it's between Edrin Cooper, it's between Cooper DeJean, and I'd consider taking. I'd consider taking Darius Robinson. And I don't know. Listen, I know Trey Benson's that high. We're not taking that guy.
We're not taking that high.
Yeah, we're not taking him that high. I don't care how high he's ranked. He's not that type of
Corners is still a lot of good corners that I like that's on the board.
Boy, that's fucked up. They got Cooper DeJean listed at safety. They don't even have my man's as a
But that's why I said, like, he's a great player.
He's a hybrid player that you have to figure out where to play him, man.
Yes.
We just
And that's
couldn't
why I
do that
said
with
they may
Jimmy
not
G.
take him because of that. They may not. That's why he's falling all of a sudden.
All right, so then look, these are the options that you have available to you. We could double up at wide receiver and draft Xavier Leggett right here. We
Do
could
a
draft.
revote.
We could draft Zach Frazier and get our center right here.
It got to be Zach Frazier or a wide receiver.
Or we could go defense right here and get either of a Darius Robinson. I kind of feel like y'all aren't really wanting Cooper
I like
so
Darius
much.
Robinson.
So Darius Robinson, or you could get a linebacker right
ain't
here in the
taking
form of
none of them
Edgerrin
linebackers.
Cooper.
Unless Edgerrin Cooper or Peyton Willis going to learn how to get 10 sacks in 3 months, I don't want to. Right.
But I mean, again, you need that inside linebacker, and he's
You got
built
two.
perfect. He's built perfect. He's 6'2", 230, a 9.13 RAS score.
So
like he
do we
has
need-
all the physical ability that you want at that position.
I do
Would
agree
you-
with this linebacker combo because last year it was hard to watch Deion Jones and a bunch of scrubs fill in for
Yeah.
Shaq's position.
So what y'all
Do
think?
we still have Deion Jones? Oh, no.
Okay, would you say that inside or outside linebacker is more important right now?
For us,
I'm-
we need pass rush. And Edgerrin Cooper and Peyton Wilson is not pass rushing nothing.
So then,
So you're saying outside.
But Evero's system doesn't thrive on it doesn't thrive on that. It thrives on stopping the run downhill and having good cornerbacks. Like I think I think pass rush is still a major need, but I don't know if these guys are gonna.
How
give you that
sure are
production.
you if we take Edgerrin or Peyton Wilson right here? How sure are you that they're day one they're starting over Shaq and Josie Jewell?
I'm not saying that. I'm looking at it from
How sure are you that drafting a center right here is automatically better than anybody else we have on this roster?
Because him and Austin Corbett have the same experience at playing center in the NFL.
I'm telling y'all.
That's a good point. I
Is
mean,
that
look.
your answer, or you're just being a smart ass?
But hold on, there are
Is that
veterans.
not a real answer?
There are veterans in
well,
front. No,
well,
that's
at
not.
least-
That's a
at
legit
least
answer, though,
Corbett
Pickle, because
has-
there are starters in front of everybody right now. So if that's
Right.
literally what they said in the press conference, that they have a approach their free agency where they can go best player available. They don't have to reach. So if it is a linebacker, if it is a center, even though there's competition, they want that competition. They want a second round pick.
Right,
to
I
compete
heard
with
that.
Corbett.
I agree to that. That's not my point I'm making. My
Honestly,
point I'm
it's got to
making
be the
is-
Frazier,
My point I'm making is
Robinson,
is
or
just
one of the receivers.
just because Shaq Thompson and Josie Jewell are veterans don't mean they're going to get beat down by a stud rookie. They are older. They both are basically on a 1-year contract, and and I almost guarantee you they won't be on the roster next year.
Austin Corbett is
I-
29 years old, coming off
I
a
do
season
agree.
into injury,
I
and
changed
never
my
played
vote.
center in the NFL a day in his life.
All right, we're gonna vote. All right, no, enough.
You know, I've already brought that up multiple thousands of times.
Look,
I'm
we're
going-
gonna vote.
My
We're gonna
vote
vote. We are voting. We are voting. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 people in here, so it's just enough to break ties. Pickle, who's your vote?
Darius Robinson.
All right, one for Darius Robinson. Team Money. What's your vote?
I'm gonna go with Xavier Leggett.
All right, Xavier Leggett. 1 for Leggett, 1 for Robinson. Evan, what's your vote?
I'm gonna go Edgerrin Cooper. They changed my mind. I do think that he would be really good for our linebacking
All right,
core.
1 for Cooper. Or 1 for Darius Robinson, 1 for Xavier Leggett, and 1 for Edgerrin Cooper. Christian, what say you?
I just pulled this note out of my pocket that I wrote down before the draft started. It says Peyton Wilson no matter what in the second round. So I'm going Peyton Wilson.
All right, we have 4 different players. Or
And if you
4
wanna
different
change your
names.
mind-
Wilson not even
We
better
have,
than Edgerrin
we have
Cooper.
3.
What
We
are
have 3
doing?
people left. Cole,
Stop
what is
that
your vote?
bullshit. I wasn't gonna do it, but since he did it, I'm going Peyton as well.
Oh, Peyton Wilson coming out of nowhere, baby. We got 2 for Peyton Wilson. If it ended right now, it is Peyton Wilson. And who is your vote?
My vote is Jonathan Mingo Jr., which means you got to pick someone from the 4th
Jesus.
fucking round and take him at pick 39. No, I'm
Who-
joking.
Someone hurt you.
No, we're picking Cooper. No, I just feel like messing around tonight. I go Edgerrin Cooper.
All right, we got 2 for Edgerrin Cooper and 2 for Peyton Wilson. So here's how it's gonna work. Either Kyle is gonna break the tie by picking either of Cooper
or one of the people who have a 1 vote has to.
Yeah.
Or
no, it's over with.
Kyle,
I know what my
look,
brother.
Well, what
Kyle
about JJ? What about
no?
JJ?
Listen, JJ jumped out. So Kyle, if you pick Peyton Wilson or Edgerrin Cooper, you break the tie, and that's the vote.
Bring him home, Kyle.
If you don't
about
vote
you,
for one
Cody?
of them, everybody shut up. If you don't vote for one of them, then you're essentially casting a throwaway vote in which I will be the tiebreaker between Wilson and Cooper. So, Kyle, the floor is yours. Who are you taking?
There's just no way I'm gonna give you a throwaway vote, Cody. So it's got to be the person that we've had in the building more times than the other one, and that would be Peyton Wilson.
Oh God.
Peyton
Yes.
Wilson.
The same
Oh,
way
that came out of nowhere. I love it.
We have to get over
Carolina
He's gonna do it, but I love it.
Same way somebody said earlier, we have to get over Hall of Fame people picking our picks. We got to get over picking dudes just because they played in North Carolina.
But that's what I said. I'm done listening to our fucking own
138 tackles as a senior.
Like,
hey, the votes have spoken.
Playing who?
Don't make a
Oh,
fuck. 138
Cedric Van
tackles
Brandt
as
might
a
be
senior.
Playing
Boy
who?
ain't touching that. Your boy
Oh,
ain't
okay,
touching
so
that.
look, here's our trade
Tackling
offers.
Cody? Like, what
So
are
here's our trade
Bengals.
offers. Here's our trade offers. Houston wants us to go to 86. That's probably too much.
Is Van Pran there? Is he there?
Doesn't look like.
No, he went to the Bengals. I saw
Damn
him.
it.
He went earlier to the Bengals.
All right,
Yeah, if he was
wait,
there, you
hold
should have
on,
sent
hold
that
on,
bitch
hold
in
on.
quick.
People wanted to be hard headed.
Yeah, Van Pran's gone.
You got
Hey,
your
get
third
Lemur.
string. You got your
Bortolini,
third
though,
string
is
middle
good.
linebacker.
Bortolini and Lemmer
That's
are
too
both
much
good.
for Lemur. Hang on. Just forget that. Forget that.
So
Jenkins,
I'm looking at quarterback.
Chris Jenkins.
Y'all got your third string middle
Hey,
linebacker.
there's
though.
that Clemson
Ruko,
tackle, Cody.
Ruko,
Hey, Chris
doesn't he sound like a Evan? Doesn't he sound like a Scooby Doo character? Like
Hey,
Scooby trying to say something's name?
Hey,
Raggy.
Jonathan Brooks is there.
All right. So Cameron Kitchens,
I will do that, Pickle.
Michael Hall, Jonathan Brooks,
Who's there at
Cedric
wide
Gray,
receiver? Who's there at wide receiver?
at wide receiver.
Ruko.
Tight end.
Oh, Ricky Pearsall.
No.
Damn, I'm surprised he's there.
Dude, Ricky Pearsall and Jalen McMillan. I think the Panthers have met with him. Malik Washington. That's another
There's a
big
guy
time
that
name.
a guy that I'm really high on that no one talks about.
Hey, Q20, what's up,
Thank
bro?
you. Y'all see the chat.
I was gonna break the tie for you, bro. Look at me.
All right, too late now, man. We already made our decision.
I think Jermaine Burton's going to be.
Thank you, Sideshow.
I think Jermaine Burton's going to be a great NFL player, and I think if you teamed him up with Bryce Young again, I think that's someone. That
You're not taking him at 65, though.
No,
But
I'm not talking about that.
we
I'm
pick
just
again
talking
at
about
101.
I would take Brooks, the running back, who's available.
No.
I'm
Who's
with
that tight end?
Take Kalen
Panthers
Carson.
have multiple
Kalen
times.
Carson.
Kalen Carson, I do like that. Wait, let me see his and 5'11", 199. He's not very athletic. All right. Let me see. All right, so defense, no.
Kalen
offense.
Carson plays like J.C. Horn.
Yeah,
If we
how
go
is
defense, we should
Jatavion?
go
Yo,
Rook.
why is Jatavion Sanders ranked so low on this website?
I don't know.
Him and Xavier
Take it.
Leggett are ranked.
That's
too
who I
low.
would take here.
Jatavion Sanders.
That's my
Yeah.
vote.
Jatavion made it to 65. Yeah, take him.
All right, Jatavion Sanders
I
is there.
support that.
I ain't gonna argue with it either. Pull the trigger.
Damn, if I already got 4 votes for Jatavion Sanders.
Make that 5.
Jatavion.
We got 5 already. It's a shit.
Just Kyle, what say you, man? You go with Jatavion?
Ooh, yeah.
All right, Q20, you like Jatavion Sanders? I don't know if you're there. I know you were
You're
driving.
not taking Chris Jenkins just because he's Chris Jenkins' son. Stop it.
All right.
I mean,
if
he
y'all
would
are
be
down
worth
with
the
I
pick,
like
but
Chris
Jatavian's
Jenkins
there.
Jr., but I agree with you, G-Money. You don't need to take these
I ain't
players.
gonna lie. These people that just be naming defensive tackles, do y'all even check to see if they can play nose tackle, or y'all just?
No.
Yeah,
no, they
Ashawn
don't
Robinson
do.
said he's not
They
playing
don't.
nose tackle. So.
Ashawn said he ain't played nose tackle a day in his life, and he ain't starting with the Carolina
That's
Panthers.
what he said. And so
All
what
right,
you
so
gonna
hey,
do?
we're voting for Jatavion,
We'll
right?
see. Round over. I mean,
Jatavion Sanders.
All right, Jatavion Sanders.
yeah.
like
You
it.
are a Carolina Panther.
Yes.
Did
Loving
Sweat
this.
go already, yo? I'm just curious. Did Sweat
Is
go?
what?
Now
Does
here's
anybody
where
D
I'm
lineman
looking
from
at
Texas.
Michael
Yeah.
Sandrill.
Kalen Carson just went to
Oh,
Detroit.
that's a good point.
I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Defense, cornerback.
Pearsall
Yes,
and
James
the
Steele is
receivers going
available.
crazy right now.
Stay there. Just stay there, Mike.
Oh, stay there, Mike. Stay there, Mike. Stay there, Mike.
Who we looking at?
Oh,
DJ
Mike.
James is there though. Woof.
That was
Johnny
taking
Dawson
too
is
long.
there.
Oh, come on.
Oh, never
God
mind.
damn it.
Oh,
Oh,
Mikey.
we're fucked. Watch the
He's gonna get taken right
Why
before us.
did he
Oh,
go
never
day
mind.
there?
Oh,
Mike
shit. He's
Sanders
there.
Tyree Jackson tho's still there.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, that's a good trade.
Take
Yeah,
that
one
trade.
got one
Take
spot.
that
You better
trade.
take that.
Take that trade.
Watch
I
him
Move
take Mike
down one
Sandrill.
pick, and we get 179.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd take that trade.
All right, accept.
They're gonna get
We're
your boy.
accepting the
Mike.
trade.
Mike, never mind.
They're gonna take your
All right,
player.
do y'all want to go back even more,
Nope.
or y'all trying to
No, I
stay
don't wanna
here?
do that.
Nah,
just stay there and get it.
Nah. Decline that.
Jerry and Jones.
Who'd they
All
All right,
take?
y'all. If y'all want
Now
to
just
go
make sure.
corner, if
Click
you-
on tackle just for. I
Go
just wanna see
Sandstro
something.
now.
I just want to see something. That Sweat is still
Mason
there.
Smith.
Whoa.
Sweat is still there, and Mason
Take him.
Smith both are there. What's the next one?
Mason
All right, so
Smith
here
is a
is-
athlete.
all right,
He
so
is
listen.
a very good athlete.
Yeah,
Here-
he can play
here's
nose.
where
Can he
we're
play
at,
nose?
But here's where we're at.
You know what I'm
With
saying?
the
People don't know
Sweat,
people who
quarterback.
play
I'd
nose
almost
or not.
take Sweat right here, yo.
All right,
Yes,
listen.
sir.
Mike Sanders, who the Panthers, we
They
know
talking
that
about
they met
taking him
with
in
a
the
bunch of
second, and we
times.
can get him in the fourth. You take Sandstro here.
Oh, right. Okay, but hold on. You also have Tavondre Sweat, the defensive tackle out of
Right.
who is.
They have brought Mason Smith in.
You know my
imagine-
$1 million question. Can he play
Just-
nose
just-
tackle?
Yes.
Yes, he can. Sweat can play
Yes.
nose. Yes, absolutely.
Yo, at 366
Dude.
pounds, he damn well better
But
be
see,
able to
He
play
plays
nose
the nose
tackle.
for the Texans.
And here's the thing with Tavondre Sweat. He's that kind of guy you can have a drink with.
Oh, God.
Smart ass. Yeah.
So-
actually, Tom
so
Brady
I-
is
gonna want more than one, my
round.
friend.
Unfortunately, I have to take him off my board, man. I don't put up with people who are that close to setting themselves up for their entire life and fuck it up. So you got to be dumb. I don't care what he puts on the field. I'm
What
sorry,
was his story? Christian, what was his story?
dude. He just got busted for a DUI.
Oh,
yo.
Somebody just has to install Uber on his phone. When
Come
he
on,
gets
hey, am I sure we still ain't got a cornerback or a center?
yeah, that's true, man.
Can y'all hear me?
So,
Because they wanted to wait
Yeah, we
on
hear-
Pratton, and then Pratton was gone when it was
Yeah.
time to pick.
Ooh,
Alright,
Tanner,
so
Tanner
there really-
Bortolini is good. Tanner
there
Bortolini
really
is
isn't
good.
a bunch of talent
I
left.
don't know. I think we shot ourselves in the foot right here, man. I'm gonna keep real with you.
I mean, hey, maybe so. I'm doing what y'all tell me to do, man. This is y'all's free for
And,
all,
and keep
dog.
real. It's you need a running back too, and it's probably gonna be too late.
Boy,
No,
I can
it's
sign,
not.
I can
let's
sign,
just
I can sign an
cancel the whole
undrafted
fucking
running
draft.
back.
Hey, hold on. So, look, everybody focus.
I guess so, but really, you can't do that with the cornerbacks in the center position, though. That's what you really can't do. So
look,
I'm
here's what we're
saying
going
take
to do.
Mike Sandstro right now.
Here's what we're going to do. Pickle, cast your vote. Who we
I
taking
can't see
right
the
here?
board.
Well, there's we got a
Oh,
bunch of
we're
different
over on
options.
tap.
Sweat.
All right,
see
you
it.
Pickle said Tavondre Sweat. Team
Oh
Money.
no, I would say anything past Van Pran though is kind of in nowheresville.
Right, that's what we're saying.
Is
So who
Sandstrom the
you
Penn
got?
State
On
guy?
him being there, and he wasn't there.
Yeah, that's is Sandstrom the Penn State guy?
No,
Yeah, no,
Michigan
he's a Michigan player.
Oh yeah. Sandstrom, cool. I do like Sandstrom.
All right, so Pickle voted for his
I
Sweat.
know that one. Yeah, that's cool.
Team
Yeah,
Money, who
we're
you
just
voting
gonna be fucked on center.
Like I
Hey,
said, they're talking about taking Mike Sandstrel in the second round, and he's still here in the fourth round. That's my pick.
All right,
Well, he ain't a
so
second round
we got
pick,
one for
so.
Sweat, one for Sandstrel.
They didn't listen to
Evan,
me, Rock, is why we don't have a center.
Evan, what's your vote?
I'm gonna go Sweat.
All right, we got 2 for Sweat. Christian, what's your vote?
I would, if without that DUI, I would seriously consider Sweat, but
That's what I said.
I
Like, you gonna
just
take a
can't.
fourth
And
round pick
and let me
to jump?
justify this a little bit more. You can only have one nose tackle on the field. You can have up to 5 cornerbacks. You need depth there, and I'm of the belief that it's a hard to find a good nose tackle, but you can use your scouts to find yourself a guy with a big rear end and develop him. So I'm going.
That
Sandstrel.
nose tackle, you just push it.
Okay.
Just push.
Okay. All right, so we got 2 for Sandstrel.
Yeah, don't worry about nose. Don't worry about nose. We got
Cole. What say you, bro? Big Cole.
You can
Big
stick
Cole.
any 350-pound, 375-pound dude in.
All right, let me go to Kyle. Kyle,
Apparently, Ibero just.
Will you
because they
click
got
the
it.
offensive tag?
Who was the
The one
star
next to
nose in Denver?
what position are you looking for?
Honestly, I'm looking at Jermaine Burton right here.
Jermaine Burton.
I was saying Sandstrel, bro. Sandstrel for sure. We need
All
that
right,
corner in our life.
What position
We
is
got
Sandstrel?
we got 2 for
He plays
Sandstrel.
nickel corner.
We got Marty
We
says
can't go into the league with
Sandstrel. QT0 says
What do you mean
Sandstrel.
we gotta go D tackle? We
JJ,
got
what say
two
you?
really good defensive tackles on the fucking team. What we need is cornerbacks. All we have is one cornerback and he's injury prone.
I agree.
And you need at least
JJ,
2 on
what
the
say
field
you,
at all
bro?
times. What is going
Let
on?
everybody have their opinion.
Hey JJ, what say you?
In all honesty, I think it should be one of our first picks we made.
Hold up, one at a time, y'all. Goddamn, y'all be talking over me too much. JJ, what say you, man?
I went to Devondre Sweat.
All right,
So we gonna
Devondre
take a
Sweat. So
jump.
that's 3 for Devondre Sweat. What's the count? Pickle said Sweat. Evan said Sweat.
It's 3-3 right now.
Cody, you decide because I'm going striking or whatever the hell you say his name. The corner.
Well, then if you're going Sancho, that breaks the tie.
I don't know if you got my bet in, but it's the corner, man.
All right, no, if
Yeah, we need a corner right there.
Who are the
that's
other
enough.
corners here even?
That puts it over the edge. Mike Sandstrel.
Thank you.
Sandstrel.
Damn.
You are
That's the
our
last
Carolina
Mohican.
Panther, baby.
Good
These
pick,
dudes
gentlemen.
trying
Good
to take-
pick.
These dudes trying to
Let's
take a jump in the
go.
fourth round. Come on now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
with you on
got
that.
him,
If
we
he's
got
a
him, we
2,
got
we
him.
got him in the 4. I'll sign up for that.
All right,
That's what I'm
Devondre
saying,
Sweat
like-
wins.
Well, he ain't worth a second round pick, that's for sure, or even a third.
All right,
But
now
I'm
our
saying,
next
we're
pick is
supposed-
142.
Cody, wasn't that you that posted the article earlier?
Which one?
Supposedly we're interested in Sandstrel in the second.
Yeah, I posted it up.
I've heard people say
That's that they
You telling
Troy
me he's there
Pauline
in the
said that he
fourth?
thinks that we
Why
could
would you
take
not take him?
in the second? All right, we have 2 picks back to back now.
Ooh, I like this.
Cam Hart from Notre Dame is available.
He's coming soon.
We just got.
There he is.
You take
What else are our needs?
Jared Wiley at TCU is available.
Bo Limmer from Arkansas, center.
That's my pick. That's my
We need
pick.
a center.
Is
And
Bo
he's
Limmer
one
really
of the
good?
guys. Well, yeah, he's one
Yeah.
of the guys that they're saying could be a solid later round center.
That's
Him and
dude,
Bortolini.
and
But we
and-
haven't drafted a center yet. Y'all want to go Bo Limmer?
As long as
Now
you
hold
take
on.
Mar-
Now remember, we have 2 picks back to back, so we can take both of the players that we want right now.
Mhm.
So let's pick 2. Who are we going first?
we can
Tyler
go.
Davis can play.
I'll give in and go Bo with y'all, but I need y'all to think about Marshawn Lloyd.
Marshawn Lloyd, the running back at USC.
Yeah, running back. I think we should look at that for sure.
I want to run it back.
5'8".
5'8", 220. So he's a bowling ball.
That's
I
what
haven't
I
picked it- we haven't
5
picked the
yards
tight
of
end.
carry.
His
Oh.
speed can be a catch 22.
Yeah,
It helps
And
create
we-
big plays and
college.
tough tackling angles.
And
Allowing
we
him to
already
bounce
missed out on what's it called? What's his name? Allen from Wisconsin.
Is it too early for the Notre Dame
Probably.
running back? What's up with him?
He already got taken.
Okay.
Yeah, he got taken right before us at
I'm
our
sure.
third
But
round
Lloyd
pick, I
is
think, or fourth.
also prone to taking liberties with his running lanes.
How's Will Shipley?
Well, who are
That
the other
means
running
he'll
backs?
think he's fast enough to go outside when he can get yards.
You know damn well I'm gonna look for my boy Will if y'all fucking dangle. If y'all dangle that name out in front of me, I'm gonna go find my motherfucking boy now, y'all.
Wait a second. Hey, Cody.
Yo, y'all don't
Hey,
play
Cody,
with me
is
now.
Brendan Rice?
Will Shipley is going to be in the unemployment line.
Is Brendan Rice still on the board?
That's a cat.
Yo, don't be disrespectful. Come on now.
Hey,
Is
Cody,
who on the board?
Is
Brendan
Brendan
Rice
Rice
is not on
How
the
about the
board.
undrafted line?
Bro, chill with that. But he was a
Brendan Rice is not on
lifelong.
the board anymore.
Will Shipley is
said
a
they already took
lifelong
Rice.
Panther fan. You would be
I
happy.
don't give a damn about none of that. Can you
All right,
play?
so
They
who
said
we,
they
who we,
already took Rice.
Louisville running back is cool.
all right, who we taking?
Bowler.
Somebody said, "See if Brandon, if Jerry Rice's son's still there."
No, I
He's
don't
not.
think so.
No.
He is not.
Dude, honestly,
I'm
I
not
think
taking McCaffrey just because.
Hey, y'all want a McCaffrey?
No,
I
hell
think
no.
I think we have some depth at center
But
here.
don't y'all want to hear
I mean,
people at the
not
stadium
depth.
chant Luke again?
But
Come
I
on.
will say that I did
Oh.
not see Luke McCaffrey's name on any of the visits.
Y'all already took Peyton
Sure,
Wilson.
we
You better
did.
say Luke when he make a tackle. Can we?
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh,
All right.
man. I think you got value at center here.
I said I'm cool with. Well, I'm cool with taking the center. Just take Marshawn Lloyd after that, or Jared Wiley.
Hey, well, so look here, since it's the value thing, y'all want to take the higher ranked player, and then the very next one we'll take Bo Lemmer. Bro, that's getting another corner.
Yeah.
Yo, we just took
No,
that
not
means we'll
Cam
take
Hart.
2 corners, and we get another offensive lineman. To me,
Cam
that's
Hart
perfect,
not even
bro.
important enough. He's still coming soon.
Who are the other cornerbacks?
I don't know if I double dip
Bro,
at
look at-
corner
look at
because
that
we still
height.
don't know if Gilmore's
Look at the
coming.
height.
So
Look at
I
the
mean,
RAS score.
that'd be 4 or 5.
Marshawn Lloyd, man.
All right, let me see if I can't help.
Unless
you
y'all
here.
think Miles Sanders is bouncing back.
Bro, I'm just saying, our running backs, it's gonna go as our offensive line goes. If you fix the O line, then our running backs are gonna be all right, man.
True, but
And we have 2 more picks.
True.
All right, it's
Chuba
all right.
ain't learned to stop tripping over his feet yet. He
All right,
in
we're
year 4.
voting. Pickle, who you vote?
Lemur.
We can take
All
Lemur
right,
at 142.
T-Money, who you vote?
Marshawn Lloyd, then Lemur at 142.
Well, hold on. What about that other running back that the guy from Louisville, I
Isaac
believe.
Carrendo.
He's good.
Bro, I
Yeah,
drafted
Isaac.
him last time, and everybody got all pissed off at me.
Hey, at
bro.
this point, there's
Marshawn
no
Lloyd,
Jalen
bro.
Wright, so I personally like him better.
You telling me Marshawn Lloyd is a guy that every time you gave him the ball, he was getting you halfway to a first down?
Bro,
that what
the
you trying to
answer is
tell us?
so
I never. Yeah,
easy
you trying
right
to tell me that?
here.
I want Braylon Allen too. Bright Sideshow, but he's not there. That's one of my
Bro,
favorite
this
running
is
backs.
so
Marshawn
easy,
Lloyd.
man. Take Cam Hart and take fucking
Well, who are the other
the
corners?
center. The corners are Cam Hart, Johnny Dixon, Daquan Hardy, Elijah Jones. I mean, most
I
of the
really
big
just
name
don't know who
guys are
that
gone.
running back is you're talking about.
Bro, listen, we
He's
drafted the,
220 and runs a 4.4. Like, what
that's what I'm saying.
I
And we
just don't know
already
him.
drafted
That
the
sounds good.
nickel.
He's
We already
a big
drafted
guy.
the
Get him.
nickel
I do.
corner.
I just don't know.
Now go and get the outside corner, bro. This
Thank
is
you, Sal.
dumb
the
simple. yo.
outside corner is Stephon Gilmore. Get off your ass and
All
come
right,
on.
well, we ain't signed him yet, so I ain't drafting like we got Stephon Gilmore.
They just said they re-going to him after the draft.
Yeah, but we ain't signed him yet. Like I'm just saying, I'm not
I
gonna
do like Hart
I'm not gonna
too, but
pretend
yeah.
that we have him if we
Boy,
don't.
y'all telling me it's a 220-pound running back that runs
Get
a
him.
4.4?
Get him. I
Just
don't know
go
who he is.
through and
You
vote.
got me convinced. I say get a
Continue
running
doing
back,
the
a big
votes.
running back. That's all I care about. Get him.
All right, so look, we're gonna vote. Pickle, what? So listen, right now, don't tell me 41 and 42. Just tell me who you're voting for 41 or for
Get that man.
141.
Get that running
Pickle,
back.
who you voting?
Hart.
Hart, T-Money, who you voting?
Marshawn Lloyd.
Marshawn Lloyd, Evan, who you voting?
Get Marshawn Lloyd and Hart. That sounds like a good deal to me. But we need a center.
Limmer.
We
Wait,
need a
hold
center.
on, one at a time, QT. Wait till I call you, then I'll get your vote. Evan, what's your vote? Yo, Evan. I see, I'm trying to get on the roll here and nobody be talking.
Bo Limmer.
Christian.
So
what'd you say, Evan?
Bo Limmer. I swear I was unmuted there, but Bo Limmer is who was saying.
All right, we got Limmer.
Is that the
we got one for
Arkansas
Hart.
center dude?
One for Hart,
Him
one
at
for the running back,
142 though. They're
Marshawn
gonna go
Lloyd.
off of value for the grade.
I say him and that running back. I say him and that running back, yo.
One at a
Hold
time.
on. Christian, who are you voting?
I'm going Lemmer. I think we all agree a center's needed here. And
All right, Cole, where we going?
Marshawn, running back.
All right, we got 2 for the running back. We got 2 for the center. Kyle, what you going?
Thought we had 3 for.
I'm gonna go Cam Hart.
All right, we got another 4. The corner, Cam Hart. So what's that? 3-3 or 2-3?
It's like I think it's a 2 or a 3-way tie of 2, 2, and 2.
I heard 3 people say Marshawn Lloyd.
I've only heard 2 people say Marshawn Lloyd.
I say Marshawn.
Right,
Yeah, I know. T-Mon, you said Marshawn.
And then the center.
So
Cole
QT,
also
you saying
picked
Marshawn?
Lloyd. Cole picked Marshawn Lloyd.
Yes, I did. I did.
So
That's 3.
T-Mon, you picked him.
And
Cole picked him. QT picked
Cody,
him.
I want
JJ, who you
Marshawn
picking?
Lloyd. Marshawn
I need to
Lloyd.
watch some of his tape.
Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah.
Kyle, who you picking?
I picked Cam Hart.
Yeah, that's right. You did pick him. So
Yeah, Sam.
Well, Bryce will have somebody to look down to.
all right,
What
so
is
we're
Lloyd
going
short or
live.
something?
So we're going
Yeah, he's
linebacker.
5'8".
Oh
He's
shit!
5'8", 220, and runs a 4.4.
All right, so we're good on that.
Oh
we
damn!
we're
I ain't gonna lie.
Marshawn Lloyd, right?
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's
So
the.
Evan, Bryce will have 2 people to look down to.
No, my vote is Isaac. I take my vote
the-
back. My vote is Isaac.
And the
vote is who?
other guy, the running back.
He's saying Isaac Arendo.
5'8".
Who wants a tall running back?
No, you're not changing your vote
What?
now.
I want
It's
a
either
big
Marshawn
running
Lloyd-
back, man.
It's either
Fucking-
Marshawn Lloyd, Cam Hart,
220
or
pounds
Bo
ain't big,
Limmer.
dude.
I don't know. It's short like that. It's kind of
the bowling
I
ball,
don't know.
man.
220 pounds ain't. What's a big back to y'all? Y'all
Wow,
want
you're
like
making this
tall
way
backs?
too damn hard, man.
He said
He needs to
220,
be
not
400
It's just a little bowling ball,
400
I
pound
guess.
running
I
back.
don't know. I just know. I just never seen him, so it's hard to commit to that, especially with those.
Everybody watched Frank Gore do
short
it.
shit. But whatever.
Cam
I'll
Hart
be.
didn't even have a description, and people was picking him. How
I
many
just
people
want a
was
big
watching
running
Cam
back.
Hart
That's all I
in the
care
All right,
about.
hold
I
on,
need a
hold
burly
on,
running
look,
back.
look.
So if
We're gonna
he
do-
anything like that, let's just fucking go with it. Fuck it.
Listen, T
In
Money,
a
you
center.
voted for Marshawn Lloyd. Evan, you also voted for Lloyd, right?
No, I voted for Bo Limmer.
You voted, okay, let me. Who all voted for
Well, we got
Marshawn
2
Lloyd?
picks. We got 2 picks back to back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. T
There
Money
was
voted
4
Lloyd.
people for Lloyd.
I'm
How many
saying
people voted
I'm not,
Lloyd?
I'm not against taking Bo Limmer, but I'm saying how this grading thing is going to work. It's going to give us more value for picking 129 at 141 than picking 138 at 141.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. The easy
If you
answer
go
is
by if you
Cam
go
Hart
by the
and
grade, if you
Bo
just go
Limmer,
by
man.
the grade alone, select Brandon.
Bro,
Cam
don't y'all know every year they find undrafted free agent running backs that rush
Right.
for like 1,000 yards and y'all trying to draft one right now?
Did we ever do
what
that
are
in
we
Carolina?
doing? But it doesn't matter. That don't mean shit, man. That don't mean that we can't find one. It's
All right, you better not
position
complain
value.
about Chuba not one time.
Bro, hey, Chuba's my
Chuba was
dog.
actually decent
Chuba's
last
my
year, bro. What are
dog,
you
man.
talking
Chuba
about?
ain't
Y'all
nothing
kill
wrong
me with
Chuba.
that. Y'all roasted Chuba for 3 years.
No,
I
not
fuck
me.
with
Chuba, he just
Nah,
couldn't get a
everyone,
yard on
nah,
third
you
down.
got
Hey,
me
man,
fucked
you on the
up.
wrong
Not
webs.
not
You on
I.
the
Go
wrong
get the
podcast.
receipts.
No,
Save
I
money if you
never
got
You're on the
it.
slandered
podcast
Chuba.
confusion.
I have been one of the biggest defenders of Chuba Hubbard on this pod for the better part of 3 years now, and everyone that's been listening to me for that long can vouch for me
So
saying
ain't
that.
one person in here cracked the
We
joke
all
about
know
Matt
that.
Rule wife taking Chuba Hubbard.
Bro, Chuba's my.
Yeah.
I
That
ain't
is
feeling
funny.
Yeah,
pressed.
they did, but that's
I am
been
not
around
have it,
feeling
Cody.
pressed to
Jet
draft a running back right now. That's all I'm saying.
But you're gonna take Cam.
Get the bowling
so
ball.
tell me what you know about Cam
Marshawn
Hart
Lloyd
besides
must
this
shit
RAS
go.
score.
Well,
He's
no, I
coming
know
soon,
that
bro.
I know that he's
So
super
let's just get
He's-
them both then. Get Cam
He's
Hart
good
and
as a
Marshawn
he's
Lloyd.
good as a press man
We
corner.
need a center,
He's
man.
6'3", 202 pounds. He has the type of ability that you
Yeah,
could
and
eventually
we
see
need a center,
playing
bro. We
on
ain't
the
lying.
outside, which is important because we don't really
So
have
what you
that
want, K
outside
Mills
of
playing back up?
outside of JC Horn. And you would have Mike Sandstrom and Cam Hart as an addition to your corner room. That's two young but important players that you're going to need going forward.
Cam Hart is a 6'3", 200-pound corner that ran like a 4.5, 4.6.
Yeah, that's slow.
What?
And had no interceptions.
All right, so
Darian Arnold also ran a 4.5, but yet he's the second or the first best cornerback.
All right, so I'm gonna do one more vote, and this is the last one. Then we're moving on, and we got 2 picks back to back. Pickle, your vote. Of course, now Pickle ain't there. All right,
Get the bowling ball right. I think the vote is unanimous.
I have shut up. Hart
There's Pickle.
and Lamer.
All right, T Money. We're just
Bowling
picking
ball,
141. T Money, who you picking?
Lloyd.
All right, I got one for Hart, one for Lloyd. Evan, what say you?
Y'all kill
I'll
me.
go Hart this time.
We're gonna take a corner
All
that's
right.
never had an interception.
Yeah, slow ass corner.
2. All right, 2 for Hart. Christian Hunt, what say you?
We need that center. I'm staying with Limmer and then Hart.
Okay, Limmer. Cole, what say you?
Still staying Marshawn, the running back.
All right, we got 2 for Lloyd, 2 for Hart. Kyle.
Yeah, I'm about it. I'll go Lloyd and Limmer.
All right, 3 for Lloyd. QT0.
4.5.
QT0.
I just looked Lloyd up though. I like him.
Tyree Jackson run a 4.5.
All right, QT don't answer. JJ, who you
Cam
picking?
Hart never had an interception in since his sophomore year.
JJ, who you picking?
Because they don't throw at him.
Give me Marshawn Lloyd.
Marshawn Lloyd is the Panthers drafted Marshawn Lloyd.
Bo Limmer.
Now I'll take Bo Limmer.
All right, are we all unanimous? Drafting Bo Limmer?
Yes,
Bo
Bo
Limmer.
Limmer. Bo Limmer. Yep, go ahead.
Boom. Marshawn Lloyd and Bo
I think
Lemon.
we're unanimous on the center. You got it.
All right, next pick is at 142. Or no, we already passed that, so it's at 179.
The pick that we got from the trade.
Yeah.
And then we're done, I think.
Bro, y'all better. Oh, look for
We never got a tight end yet, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we got tight end.
Yes, we
Oh
took
yeah,
it.
we got Jatavion. Yep, never mind. Who we missing then? Shit, we could still. Oh, Isaac just went out there.
All right. So, what do we need? Xavier Thomas is available.
We need a nose
I
tackle.
can't hear you, Cody. But what's that? Xavier Thomas edge? Is he something?
Hell yeah, Xavier Thomas is.
Oh
fast.
shit, Xavier Thomas is here.
Yeah,
him.
Xavier Thomas is here.
Take him.
I'm down with
Might
it.
not be a guy who will end up being your number one edge rusher, but he's a guy who can develop to be a depth edge rusher eventually.
All right,
I
this is
can't
our
hear
last.
what Cody's saying, but can somebody tell me what Cody's saying about Xavier?
Nah, just I mean,
I know that
to come in
Xavier
and come
Thomas
out.
was
But
a
he's
five-star
a
coming
really
out.
fast edge rusher that was once upon a time the number one prospect in the country.
He was a 5-star coming out, but he dealt with depression issues.
But he also had a lot of injuries.
I like it.
too.
Well,
I like
COVID,
it.
yeah, COVID got him. He had
He realized
season-ending
Clemson
injuries.
wasn't a good football program no more and had depression issues.
Yeah, JJ, shut your
Mhm.
ass up.
That
Xavier
as far as the
Thomas
football
did
program,
come
I
in.
How many championships?
He did come in on a visit, so Xavier
Oh, hold on.
Thomas would
Isn't
be my vote.
Lafu good right there?
Hold on, Evan. Who
Is
put
it who
y'all
right
in the
there?
dirt?
What was that?
That
Who
what's it
put y'all
called?
in the dirt?
Lafu,
Who did what?
the linebacker right there.
The Wolf
He
Pack,
put y'all in
JJ.
the dirt in 2020. No, the Wolfpack didn't do nothing.
Yeah, we did.
You
We beat
well,
Clemson.
you guys
Notre
may
Dame
beat us then,
linebacker.
but you guys only
Whoa.
have
Yeah, the
one
Notre
national
Dame
championship.
linebacker.
Well, he ain't but
Exactly.
Oh, I do
234
like
pounds.
Maurice. I do like him. I do like him though.
Yeah, I
I
say
like
him.
Xavier
I
right
Who
say
beat you
him. That's
31-0?
what I say.
All right, so we're gonna vote. Pickle, who you voting for?
I don't care. I don't really don't care.
It's pretty much between
Xavier
Xavier Thomas and the
Xavier
linebacker.
Thomas.
All right, Xavier Thomas, Team Money, what say you?
No. Maurice Lafahu.
All right.
I don't know who that is, but the defensive tackle there at the top, where I can see his specs one time.
Coming to
6'4", 297.
He
Yeah.
ain't even got a good RAS score. He ain't even that big. Never mind. Let's just go with the linebacker.
Evan, what said you?
Xavier Thomas.
Xavier Thomas, Christian Hunt.
Oh God.
Can I see the specs on Thomas?
We don't need another linebacker when we got one already.
Yeah, I'll go with Xavier Thomas.
Oh yeah, we did draft Wilson though. I'm sorry. Yeah, we did draft Wilson, didn't we?
In the 6th round, you're drafting somebody that can play special teams.
All right, we got 2 for Xavier Thomas. No, Pickle said Thomas too. Hunt or Christian Hunt, you said Xavier Thomas. Cole, what say you?
Tim Tebow.
Did we or did we not draft a linebacker already?
I'll take Xavier, my friend. That's
We
an
did
easy one.
already.
All right, Xavier
Good
Thomas. Kyle, you say Xavier Thomas?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Cody, you convinced all of them. You better be out there teaching Xavier Thomas pass rush moves because
Bro, I'm gonna do it. Hey, you can depend on
draft
me.
a
bro, I
special teams
promise
guy
you.
over a rotational pass rusher. Makes sense.
Xavier Thomas has no. You took Zion Talupa is a better pass rusher than Xavier Thomas.
Not at 2.
Muhammad Kamara. Oh God.
Cap.
Y'all
Why
don't
y'all
even look
constantly
at
trying to
age.
disrespect my Clemson players, y'all? That's disrespect.
Boy, you be convincing people just because they Clemson players, they goats.
But that's what I'm
Bruh.
saying. We never draft. If we draft them, then y'all would know how good they are. Like
I've watched.
I mean, I know it because I'm a Clemson fan too, but also I just know that he's
like
good.
a typical Clemson pass rusher. He has no pass rush moves and he's fast.
Oh my God, bro!
What was
That
the
is
other edge
such
you were talking
a
about?
generality, dog.
Uneducated.
I watch him. What?
You said
Bro,
something
who's
about
your
another
team?
edge player. Who's the
Because I'm
other
a
edge guy?
Clemson fan.
Xavier Thomas. If we go pull up his profile right now, it'll say the same thing.
Yeah, that's why he's a 6th round pick, man. He's the type of player you take a flyer on,
Muhammad
man.
Kamara is better than him. If we're going edge. We saw Muhammad Kamara dominate the Colorado State game.
But you should have said something. You didn't say his name.
I don't
All right, that's the end of the draft anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the final C3 Friday free for all mock draft of the 2024 season is as follows: Adonai Mitchell at 33, Peyton Wilson at 39, Jatavion Sanders at 65. The value pick of the draft with Mike Sandstrel at pick 102. We got a bruiser, Marshawn Lloyd at 141. At 142, Bo Limmer, center out of Arkansas. And to round it out, our first Clemson player ever drafted, Xavier Thomas, baby. The final 2024 free-for-all mock draft. Boys, what say you, man?
I'll just say this, Cody. We've never won a Super Bowl because maybe we've never drafted a Clemson player.
You know what?
Ask the Falcons how big B's are.
Man, you might have fucked up saying that.
You
Thank you, Thompson. They took Xavier Thomas with Muhammad Kamara on the board.
The only way this draft gets better, versus like with how it fell, was I just don't like AD Mitchell.
I didn't see a Muhammad on there. My bad. I would have probably took him too.
Well,
I like it. It's a good draft. I like it.
Shit happens.
Yes, sir, man. I like this too. I think
Cat.
this is a damn good draft.
Because I'll find you Xavier Thomas say specifically he has no chop move.
Bro, every time we do one of these, there's always
maybe since you know so much, Team Money, maybe you ought to go write your own website.
Hey, you know what? I gotta
What
be
does
real
that
here.
have to do with anything? Because you on C3?
Because
I was
no,
on C3
because
when you weren't even thinking about
all I
football.
know,
Okay,
all
what are
I
you talking
know
about?
is I've read it and I posted it.
You read it. I watch them. What?
Well, so again, I ask you, if you know so much of what you're talking about, then why are you here chatting
Cody,
on website?
please
I'm gonna post this on Twitter and see what Twitter got to say.
educate your
Because
people.
Twitter
Oh, I
be
love
roasting us And I don't know if y'all know, I don't know if y'all know this, but I always post the results to our mock drafts on Twitter. And sometimes people love it. Sometimes they flame the shit out of us.
I think this is a good one. I mean, but what do I know?
Last week's wasn't horrible. I hope they weren't flaming that one.
It's a pretty good draft.
And so y'all discuss what do you like about it, what do you hate about it, who's overdrafted. Y'all talk about it while I post this up on.
I don't think there's any.
It's not really no crazy picks.
And we hit every spot we needed. Everything that we said we needed, we hit it.
Yeah. You got wide receiver, you got inside linebacker, cornerback, center.
You don't even need to double dip anywhere.
We didn't hit nose tackle, but
you can find a fat 350 pound, 375 pound.
Well, we also have to remember something that's very, 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 very important coming up this year, and that we have the very first waiver claim to the whole year. And so once that starts, once OTAs and training camp and all that shit starts, and they start making all these cuts, and the people that they got to get rid of because of cap numbers and they couldn't do it before the draft, we have first dibs on every single person has to get through Carolina. So
let's go get Marquand McCall back.
It's super important.
So
let's go get Marquand McCall back.
So you're telling me there's a chance we can still get Will Shipley?
Will Shipley?
I'm just playing, Cody.
If that's the case, we would.
Y'all are so fucking disrespectful. I swear to God, disrespectful.
I'm sorry, Cody. I love it.
No, you're not sorry at all. Don't say that shit.
I'm not sorry.
No, I know y'all not sorry. No, y'all are sorry. Y'all, to be honest, y'all sorry as fuck. If I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying. But, hey, that's all right. My Tigers are gonna win another championship before any of y'all's lame ass schools. So
it's okay, Cody. Will Shipley's a dog, and we know it.
You right?
I know.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Right. I mean,
never gonna win
championship. The Clemson Tigers are probably gonna win a championship before the Wolfpack. I get it.
Oh, that goes without saying. You know,
I mean, Dabo got about 2 years for he joined Saban. So
no, you're probably not wrong about that though. They be bitching about
he needs
that.
to use the transfer portal. I get he hates it, but you gotta use it. Yeah, and Dion's out here talking trash about his players trying to leave.
My Twitter, for anybody who don't know, is Mr. Teammate 1993. Y'all go watch Marshawn Lloyd and then let me know what you think. Because that boy is a bad boy.
Hey, I like the bowling ball running backs, that's for sure. But I also think that you can get guys later, and this was technically later, so I'm on board. I'm on board with it. Maurice Jones-Drew, he was a bowling ball. He was good.
Frank Gore was little too, you know. He wasn't that
Most
big.
running backs are shorter. The only tall, super good running back is Derrick Henry, and that's because he's like 6'3".
Yeah, thanks.
He's a real bowling ball.
We can't hear you, Cody.
He's bouncing around.
Most running backs are 5'8" to 5'2".
Derrick Henry's like a defensive end out there.
Exactly.
Playing running back.
And Derrick Henry, that's why he get hit so low at the line of scrimmage.
When they try and tackle him high,
he did a good job filling all the holes that we had.
If people hating on this one,
Right.
they don't know what they're talking about.
This is some whole. This is definitely.
Again, I just don't know, man. If that's what we end up with, not that we will. I'm just saying, if that's what I look at, I would much prefer Leggett over Mitchell. But I guess I'm in the few.
We could have done
that.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask Christian. Christian, what about Leggett that you like more than Mitchell?
Well, okay. Obviously, I'm not a pro at this. I just don't. AD Mitchell doesn't impress me and doesn't stand out as much from what I see. And I see the film from Leggett. It just screams of like, this guy's going to be a beast. Plus, he wants to play for the Panthers. I don't like, I just think there's some questions with AD Mitchell too, like off the field shit.
The honest evaluation of AD Mitchell is he knew that he had Jatavion and Worthy on his team. So did he chill sometimes? Yes. So if you watch a full game of Adonai Mitchell, you might have plays in consecutive where you like, Adonai, what you doing out there? You chilling. He don't go hard. He didn't go hard all the time.
But it is kind of nice that we have the congruency of two Texas offensive players that were on the field at the same time together that are going to bring that kind of energy to Carolina. You know, obviously they're going to have a different system, but they already have the chemistry. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
Hey, and that brings up a point. You know, so if A.D. Mitchell had Worthy on the other side and Jatavion Sanders on the same field with him, I mean, how much of his production was, you know, it wasn't by himself. So, like, who did Leggett have opposite him?
That's like not taking Marvin Harrison because he plays with all NFL wide receivers.
No, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. But I ain't mad. It's a good final mock draft.
Yeah. I just would have took Peyton over Edrin Cooper, but I understand the fascination.
Well, not only that, but he's just been in the building more. He's way more familiar with the team. I just feel like that if anything, that they would go in that direction. And I'm not disputing that Edrin Cooper is a good linebacker because honestly, they had all three of them hit, both of them and Cedric Gray in the building so far. So I just based my pick solely based on the fact. I mean, I understand that he plays from the college that I like, but at the same time, he's got the most chemistry with the team. Like, we all knew that they were. I thought of along the same lines that, remember when they took Kenny Pickett, when the Steelers took Kenny Pickett because of the chemistry that he had already had with the team, and like everybody kind of knew that that's where he was going to go. You know, I get the same kind of vibes from Peyton Wilson. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we see how Kenny Pickett worked out though.
How about this? If he is able,
I'm just saying Peyton Wilson is not Kenny Pickett.
If Peyton Wilson is able to stay healthy, there is nothing about his game I don't like. I think he flows to the football fast.
I agree.
I think he's physical. I think he's not afraid to tackle. I think he trusts his eyes. I mean, I like a lot about him. I think the biggest question mark is the injuries, but you know, for picking him at 39, I think it's good value. I really do.
Yeah, P. This site you needed to update their stuff because there's no way Peyton Wilson making it to 65.
Well, probably not, but we do what we can. You know what I mean? We do what we can. But I'm pretty happy with the free for all, the mock draft, the final one. Bro, would y'all believe we have a mock draft, or not a mock draft, but the real draft coming up this Thursday, man, this next Thursday. And you already know we're going to be live over here on C3, man. We will be going live on Thursday night. And we'll be, you know, discussing the first round of the draft. And yeah, we are going to let people on Thursday and Friday as well. Friday will be like all our picks. So it'll be next Friday will be a very special edition of the Friday Free for All. I mean, to be honest with you, we're probably going to be live for every hour of the draft, all rounds, if we're really being honest. So, hey, man, stay tuned to C3. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you have not done so already, we are the longest running Panthers podcast on the internet. And, you know, we appreciate y'all, man. This show is for the fans, by the fans. And that's the way that we always intend it to be. And if you missed the start of our show today, we lost our co-founder, boys. Joe Riollano, co-founder of the C3 Panthers Podcast. We've dedicated this episode to him tonight. Joey, we love you, brother. Normally I give everyone, you know, a little send-off, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to end tonight how we started it with Joe Riallano. We wish all of our thoughts and prayers to his family, to all of his friends. C3 Nation would not be what it is if not for this man, Joe Riallano. So, Joe, We love you, brother. Godspeed. You're in a better place. And until we meet again, my brother, keep pounding.
Rest in peace.